Naruto is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Masashi Kishimoto. It tells the story of Naruto Uzumaki, a young, socially isolated ninja who seeks recognition from his peers and dreams of becoming the Hokage, the leader of the village. The story is told in two parts. The first set in Naruto's and a we're avoiding things for EliteAri spoilers,
Hmm.
but there's two parts to the series. Can you believe it? The series is based off two one-shot manga by Kishimoto. Karakuri, 1995, which earned Kishimoto an honorable mention at Shueisha's monthly Hop Step Award the following year, and Naruto, the one-shot, in 1997. Naruto was serialized in Shueisha's Shonen Manga magazine, Weekly Shonen Jump, from September 1999 to November 2014, with its 700 chapters collected into 72 tankopon volumes. Viz Media released in North America. There is a anime, my goodness, made by Parrot and Aniplex, which started in October of 2002 and went until March of 2017 on TV Tokyo. There's also 11 animated movies, 12 original video animations, some light novels, a lot of video games, a trading card game, and there's even a sequel manga series called something that I'm pretty sure EliteAri knows, but
Boruto.
we're not going to say. Oh my goodness, Boruto Uzumaki. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Naruto is one of the best-selling manga series of all time, having sold 250 million copies. They're all in circulation worldwide, apparently. It has become one of Viz Media's best-selling manga series. The English translations were on the US Today and New York Times bestseller list several times. Wow. And they've won awards and stuff. And this is all from Wikipedia, by the way. And there's a very funny, anti-Naruto line at the end, which I think is very funny, where it says, critics have noted the manga, which contains strong coming-of-age themes, often incorporates cultural references to Japanese mythology and Confucianism. But there's also a criticism here about how the latter part of the story slowed down. So I've never seen Wikipedia in its opening summary criticize something. There you go. That was very funny. Now, also, just a little thing, I just looked up. It is the 6th best-selling manga of all time. Pretty pathetic, if you ask me. I thought it was going to be number 3. One Piece, of course, is the best. Then Doraemon is number 2. Golko 13, which I don't even know what that really is. Case Closed, Detective Conan. And then Dragon Ball is beating Naruto by about 10 million copies. So,
wow.
But Naruto's a big boy with a big history. Also, 700 chapters, 500 episodes of Shippuden, 220 chapters of original Naruto. Naruto loves whole numbers, apparently. And here we are to talk about it today with our favorite never seen Naruto. That's not entirely true. He's seen the first episode one time. That's our guy, EliteAri.
Yes, I'm here. I don't know how, but I avoided Naruto my entire life. Until a few years ago when I watched episode 1, and then that was it. I was like, that's it. I think at the time I was like, oh, it's fine. I just never got around to watching more. So yeah,
That's interesting. I thought you watched it when you were a kid. I didn't think it was a few years ago, but I did know you had seen episode 1 before. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
Somewhat recently. It was probably not a few years ago, maybe 2016 or something. It's 10 years ago. But yeah, I did.
EliteAri's old, so he wasn't a kid then either.
Yeah. But yeah,
now
that's my history. I just don't have any history. Somehow it is miraculous to me that I just know very little about this, which is very shocking. But here we are.
Yeah, we'll expand on that in a second. This is a review series we've been hyping up for many a year, probably a year or something. We've been talking about doing this, and here we are. We have started. We have seen 19 episodes of Naruto, which encompasses the introductory stuff and, of course, the Land of Waves arc. EliteAri, did you know it was called the Land of Waves arc, or are you finding this out right now?
I knew that you had given this a name, and I think I'd heard the name. I could not recall what it was called, but I knew that the arc had a name.
It says it on the wiki, so it must be true.
Wow.
But that is true. That is our first arc here. I currently have an internal plan. I haven't shared it with EliteAri because he doesn't really need to know too much. But I do have a plan that is currently 18 parts that will see us through the end of Naruto Shippuden. I will get into. I don't think I'll reveal my whole plan yet, EliteAri, because I don't want criticisms of my great plan here. But at the end of this episode, we'll say which episodes we are watching next. If I remember. So I've planned it all out. We're taking this super serially, EliteAri, seriously. Now, there is a possibility that EliteAri is going to give his overall thoughts. He's going to hate Naruto, and he's going to say, I'm not watching anymore, you freaking losers. and my plan will go to waste. But we'll keep you on edge on whether or not that's true for probably another 10 to 15 minutes. Now, the first thing before we even get into EliteAri's I guess first of all, I've seen Naruto I've seen a bunch of parts of Naruto many times. I've seen the whole thing at least once. I haven't seen the latter part of Shippuden more than once, I don't think. But I have seen it. So this is not me reacting to the big plot twist of Naruto. This is EliteAri reacting and me guiding him through. Other than that, before we get directly into Naruto, Naruto is one of the most famous long-running shonen series ever. So I guess before we go into that, EliteAri, you would like your history with shonen manga in general, which ones you did grow up with, some other ones you've seen your favorites, and how you didn't grow up with Naruto, and maybe Naruto's reputation and what you've heard about it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
sure.
go ahead.
Okay. Firstly, I did not ever grow up with any manga whatsoever. I only started reading manga with the Great Attack on Titan, like whenever the anime came out. But in terms of anime, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan.
That's what I meant.
Anime was, Dragon Ball was definitely the thing I watched when I was a kid. It was like my favorite show ever. You know, we love Dragon Ball Z especially. Beyond that, when I was a kid, I don't know, I watched like all the stuff that was on TV, like Yu-Gi-Oh! And that thing with the vehicles that like ram into each other with like spiky hit tips or whatever, like stuff like that.
Beyblade?
No, oh yeah, Beyblade I did, but that's not the one I'm talking about. It was like Crush Gear or something, right? I don't know what it's called.
I don't know this one.
Yeah, but I didn't watch Naruto, haven't seen Bleach, didn't watch One Piece. Like I basically avoided all of those somehow. And after that, like maybe in like 2015 or 2016 or something, I started watching anime, like, you know, all the stuff that the anime fans talk about. So I watched One Punch Man, and then I watched like, I don't know, I've seen, of course, the great Jujutsu Kaisen, I've seen Chainsaw Man, I've seen Attack on Titan,
My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia. You know, I've seen all the big like mainstream kind of stuff that is pretty recent, I think. Demon Slayer, like I've seen almost, I would say the majority of like the popular stuff.
True. Despite EliteAri's immense age, you know, he's
True.
old. He has seen way more Zuma anime, especially Zuma shonen, than myself. I had a similar trajectory towards the beginning. I watched like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot growing up. Then I got into Dragon Ball, and then I got into like I attempted to get into Naruto and One Piece at the same time, but I said One Piece freaking sucks. So I just stayed with Naruto, and then I basically watched most of Naruto. Well, actually, I stopped for a second. Then, like I think a year later, I started again, and that's when I really got into it. And then, famously, Naruto, with 5 weeks to go on the manga, announced it was ending. It was big news, so I tried to watch all of Naruto. I think this was the second time, so I watched it all from the beginning and tried to catch up, and did get to the beginning of the last arc, which will remain nameless. But I did watch like 400 episodes in like 5 weeks or something. I feel like that's probably impossible, but it was something like that. I wasn't even skipping filler at the beginning, but that's my crazy Naruto history. And then later I got into My Hero a little bit, and then eventually One Piece and stuff like that. But outside of that, I really haven't seen too much long-running shonen stuff. It's really Dragon Ball, Naruto, and a little bit of My Hero, and now One Piece.
And don't forget Hunter x Hunter. My goodness, you've seen like 50
that is
episodes
true.
of that.
I've seen 42 episodes of that, but that was like I already was a YouTube guy by then, so that doesn't even count. But yeah, that's my little personal history with silly old Naruto. I guess it's important to point out, obviously, My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen at various times by Naruto fans gets accused of ripping it off a lot. It's probably not really that relevant at all. But it's like, oh, this is where perhaps this was influenced or something like that. I know in My Hero, Aizawa has like an eye power, and he's like their first sensei, so people say he's like Kakashi. But whatever. And also, obviously, Gojo, people say, is like Kakashi, but that's really just because he has like a mask and he has white hair, I think. I don't really know anything about Gojo's powers or stuff.
Yeah.
There's also like Yuji. That's the guy's name, right?
Yes, JJK, the main character, yes.
Yes. He's got an evil spirit inside him, which is a little bit like Naruto, I guess.
True.
And also in my Hero, they never mind, I can't say that. Kill yourself. That was about to be a Naruto spoiler.
Oh, interesting.
So we'll shut up about that. But true. Shonen, we've both seen some of it. We've both got a great base of Dragon Ball knowledge. Naruto is definitely inspired by Dragon Ball in some parts. There's a very direct homage at some point, with two people like squaring off before they fight. We'll get to that. But we can't talk about that yet. So true. Long-running shonen. Here we are at Naruto. We have some histories with that. Further, EliteAri, you can now. Now, I told EliteAri before he started to write down a list of things that he's been spoiled on in Naruto, which he has been spoiled on a few little things. I think he has not remembered some of them, which is good. Obviously, I talk about Naruto a lot on my stream. EliteAri is my biggest fan. He's watching all my streams, so he's probably picked up some things through osmosis. I think that's the right word, EliteAri. So I'm curious to see your list, and I'm not going to comment on like whether or not what we're not going to do. Commenters, which I think EliteAri is probably banned for reading comments. We're not going to. Well, I guess if he's not reading comments, it doesn't really matter. But we're not going to react in a certain way if he perhaps says a spoiler he's very confident about that's not entirely true, and we're not going to giggle at certain things. Okay, this is notes for me, I guess. But go ahead, EliteAri. List off some things you think you know about the future of Naruto's story.
So these are going to be very sporadic, and some of them will cover like broad things, and some will be very specific. And there's not that many, to be honest. The first thing, this is something I got like not spoiled on, but this is something I knew back in like high school because my friends would like make references to it. But I know there's, or at least I guess I think there's an attack called the Rasengan, and it's like a spiral disc or something. Unless the, and because I know there was also the Sharingan that was in this, but I think it's different to that. So I think it's like a spiral energy disc thing that's called Rasengan. That's my understanding. I could be completely wrong, but I think I'm spoiled on that. I know two names of like. I know one name, something is called, I know it's called the Pain Arc. I don't know what that means, but I know there's an arc called the Pain Arc. And I know there's a character, this might be completely separate to that arc, but I know there's a character called Orochimaru. Only because I've watched One Punch Man, and there's a villain in that called Orochimaru, and everyone's always like, oh my god, it's like the one, the Naruto villain guy or something. So I'm assuming it's a villain. But yeah, Orochimaru. Then I know that Naruto glows golden like a Super Saiyan at some point, I think. And I know that, what else is there? Well, I have a major spoiler, thanks to Kyle in one of his scripted videos. I know that Naruto and Hinata get married together or something at some point. So I am spoiled on that. What else is there? I've obviously, you know, I know the general things, like talk no jutsu, power of friendship, like this is big, like, tropes in Naruto. Like, I know the general kind of complaints like that, I think, that I've heard of over the years. I don't really know what they apply to or anything, but I've heard them. Obviously, Naruto running, I know that kind of, like, the meme about the animation of them running is like bad or something. Then I have, I've heard Rock Lee as a character, and I think I know the character design, but I could be mixing him up with like some other character design, but I know that's like a name at least of a character.
What does he look like?
There's the character I'm thinking of. Well, I know I've heard the name. The name is definitely a character. But the guy I'm thinking of has like black hair and he looks like a frog or something. I don't know. Yep. What else is there? I have a few more. I know this might be a massive thing because I know like this is something that Kyle would always go on about all the time. Every day he would talk about Attack on Titan.
This is the big one.
And he'd talk about, I don't even remember the names. It was like Itachi. There was like two people or something. There's like one is tricking us and one isn't or something. And I know this is like a thing, but I don't know what it is or what they're tricking us about.
Oh, interesting.
I know there's like something going on there. So we'll see when we get to that. And then I know now this I could be wrong on, but I saw a TikTok once and Sasuke was fighting dinosaurs. So I don't know if that's like if that was like a filler thing or if it was like in the show or if it was like a fan made thing. I have no idea, but that showed up at some point on my TikTok. And I know two more things.
Dragon Ball influence, maybe we'll see.
Oh yeah, there are dragons or like not dragons, dinosaurs in Dragon Ball. But I know two other things. One is something that Kyle spoiled the other day for some reason. I don't know why he would do this, but apparently there's a time skip in Naruto. Yeah, which I had no idea was a time skip. So there we are.
There's always a time skip in these things.
Apparently, yeah, I had no idea. And my last thing that I know, or I've heard people say, but I'm curious how true this will be. Everyone says, "Oh my God, Sakura, she doesn't do anything." So I've heard that meme, but
frickin' Sakura! My goodness, that's the #1 most hated character of all time.
Interesting.
But don't worry, we'll get into it. Now, the thing I retracted from the Wikipedia reading was that Naruto is told in 2 parts, and like there's a time skip. So,
well, yeah, you already spoiled me on that one.
The other day. So, oh well, leave it in the wiki reading next time, idiot. But true. That is why Naruto. Well, I guess I'll shut.
I don't want to know anything. Oh my God.
Was that it? Is that the
list?
That's
all. As everything that comes to mind. I'm sure there's more. But
interesting. Okay. There is one thing that I was expecting that you didn't say, which is good, and obviously I won't remind you, but
all right.
Someday somebody will ask me what I meant in this moment, and I'm pretty sure I'll remember. I hope. Anyway, so EliteAri knows some things, but not really some things. There really wasn't much in here you would have been like, oh, Like, that's the thing, right?
Mm. Oh, there
Not in
was like
these
one thing
first couple
I
episodes.
also recognized when when Kakashi's eye had the Sharingan thing or whatever. I recognized that where I'm like, oh, I've seen this design before. But besides that,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's the main thing where I was like, oh, I've seen this. But other than that, not
You
really.
probably know the phrase genjutsu and stuff too,
No,
right? And that's sort
absolutely
of
not.
explained in this. Interesting. That's like a thing people like, you fell for my genjutsu? My goodness, you
Nope,
never heard that before?
never.
Well, that was in this part, so. Don't worry, I have notes on all the lore things that are introduced. We're gonna get EliteAri is not gonna ever be confused. We're gonna teach him
Wonderful.
everything, even if the show already tried.
Mm,
Um, but true, that's all the background stuff. Um, and I don't want to talk anymore about spoilers for fear of giving things away.
good.
Um, which kind of brings us, EliteAri, to potential overall thought sections.
Mm,
Now, I will give thoughts, like, but I'll do it after EliteAri because I do have some thoughts and sort of
mm,
different perceptions I had before and after rewatching. I will just say I have seen this first arc like more than anything else in Naruto. I've seen it like 5 or 6 times because even as a kid I was obsessed with like starting stuff from the start in order to rewatch it. So I attempted it like multiple times. So especially like
mm,
the first 10 episodes of Naruto, I've probably seen like 7 fucking times. But not in a
mm.
while, so that's pretty good. Oh, I'll also point out that a few years ago, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, oh, it's probably more, it might be 4. I did rewatch from um, post I don't know how to say this without probably from like episode 160 to about 240 of Shippuden or something. Obviously, there's a bunch of filler stuff in there, so skipping some things. So basically right before the final arc is I rewatched that and like the few arcs before that recently. I made a scripted video on Naruto one time. So around that section, if you go on the Kyle Entertainment channel, you'll be able to figure it out. What sort of parts I rewatched. Also, there are videos on secondary NT talking about it, so you could do that and sort by most popular. Until this great video comes out and destroys them, right, EliteAri? Anyway. So I have
Yep.
rewatched some parts of Shippuden more recently, um, and really liked them, I guess I'll say. More than I thought I would. Naruto has a kind of negative reputation in critical spaces, and I
Mm,
don't agree with them at all. Um, I guess also generally I do think Shippuden is a lot better than original Naruto, so that's another thing. Uh, touching base with me on Naruto, I guess, because that's
mm,
probably pretty contentious. Um, so I have sort of 7 categories where we can go through overall thoughts. I think, Alita, I'll let you say what you have to say. Obviously,
mm.
I'm going to predict what you're going to say before you say anything.
Okay.
Um, there's and then I'll bring those up afterwards unless you say them. I'm expecting us to talk about a P word a lot, but we'll see.
P.
Um,
I guess
my
we'll
God,
see.
we'll
Okay.
we'll see. Well, it's not a thing from the show. It's like a general thing you might
Okay.
talk about when reviewing a show. Anyway, we'll get to it in a second. Initially, I was confident in Alita liking Naruto before I rewatched these episodes, and then I rewatched them, and I was like, "Oh no!" The P word was pacing Alita, and I was like, "This shit is slow and old." And
Mm,
Alita doesn't like either of those things. I'm pretty sure, so I am not very confident at all that Alita likes it. O'Leary had also let slip that he had seen like 5 episodes and he had stopped for a little while, and I was like, "Oh,
did I?
there's clearly well, you said you were at episode 5. I guess you never said you had stopped for a second, but
Mm,
you'd said that on stream or something recently. And obviously, I was negging Elite to hurry up because I wanted to review the Great Naruto, and because I watched these episodes pretty quickly back through. Um,
mm.
Obviously, like, the first episode is okay. The second episode, most people hate. So I was like, oh no, if EliteAri gets through. And then episode 3, most people hate. And then episode 4 and 5 and 6 are kind of a bit cooler, but I could see EliteAri still thinking it's slow. And then there's the general arc stuff, which is in some parts really good and in some parts really, really slow. So I guess I'm expecting not the most positive thoughts here from EliteAri this evening. So I'm not going to be shocked when he breaks all of our hearts in about 1 minute's time. So I guess that's probably my overall thoughts. I think
Mm,
EliteAri will continue it. I don't think he's going to pursue dropping it because I think he probably would have shot me a DM to
mm.
explain that. So the joke I made earlier was a bit of a joke there. Um,
Wow.
I'm trying to think because we haven't really introduced anything. I want to say you'd probably like the arc stuff later better than the initial stuff. In terms of which characters, I honestly have no idea. Which ones EliteAri would like, or if he even likes any of them or stuff like that. So I don't think I'll predict too much of that. But I'm not expecting very positive review coming right now, EliteAri. But I guess it's your turn to fill us in on any such concepts of liking or disliking the great Naruto.
Okay, first, that's very funny. I don't know. Alright, so, okay, just to give my overall thoughts quickly before I talk about why it's funny, I guess. The first episode, it was pretty much what I remember, and I was like, oh, it's like pretty good. And then the next few episodes were pretty terrible. And then basically after that, it became quite a bit better. And at the end, I'm like, oh, this is like okay. That's my general overall thoughts. Now, it is for completely different reasons than anything you just said, which is kind of very funny. Because pacing is not an issue whatsoever. That didn't even cross my mind as like a issue of
That's
what
crazy.
This stuff. Like this is perfectly fine. Like pacing wise, like things move at an okay rate. Like I guess maybe it's also my expectation of this is like an older anime, so it's like I know that stuff used to be a lot differently paced or whatever. So I'm.
Were you skipping the recap as it happened at the beginning of every episode?
At the beginning, I would skip, like, I watched the opening a few times, and then, like, I would skip the opening and skip the 5-second, like, paused screen. I don't know why they...
Opening?
Yeah. And then sometimes if there was a recap and it was, like, really obvious recap, I'd skip it, but not all the time. And then there was, like, a half, like, recap episode, and I watched that because I was like, oh, maybe I'm missing something that I'm forgetting, so I kept doing that.
No. Hey, I warned you about that episode.
I think you did, yeah. But I was like, oh, this is good. At least I make sure I'm not missing anything obvious that they want me to know. So I watched that. But... anyway, the actual issues with this show are like very clear, which there's like 2 of them, and one of them is like probably never going to go away, but you never know. And the biggest issue is by far the comedy. This is not funny, and it's like in those initial episodes, those first like 4 or 5 episodes, it's a comedy anime. Like it's not even close. Like there's no second.
Especially episode 2 and 3.
Yeah, it is a comedy, a primary as the genre, with like action being like a secondary genre for those initial like opening few episodes. And the comedy is terrible. Like it's like I can't even imagine anyone laughing at this. Like when they're unless you're a kid, I guess maybe. Which is really interesting because I know that like. People like this show, like I know, like it is like a thing that people really, really like the show. I just wonder if like people actually find it funny, or if maybe it would be really interesting if I get to the end of this show and then I watch those first 2 episodes again, and then if I find it funny because I know the characters now or something, that'd be really interesting. Because right now I did not. Yeah.
This is interesting because you also say the same thing about Jujutsu Kaisen, right? This is like a thing you've been saying a lot recently, where you're like you hate the comedy, and I always say I'll like the comedy, EliteAri, and you say there's no way you're gonna like the comedy. I think the comedy is completely fine in this. It's probably funny. I was probably laughing.
Maybe.
Do you think it's similar to Jujutsu Kaisen comedy?
This has like an ungodly amount of comedy. Jujutsu Kaisen has very sparing comedy.
Well, yeah, it's a lot faster.
They're probably both equally just the same boring type of comedy of like visual gags.
It's like shonen
like
kitty comedy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, where I'm like, I get it. Like this is like, it's the most like obvious joke will be the joke that is made, and like I don't know.
Naruto turns into a sexy lady, EliteAri. It's hilarious.
Yeah, then they get nosebleeds and stuff. I don't know. The thing is, though, however, like I feel like. It's been a while since I watched Dragon Ball, but I feel like I like the comedy in that fine. So I don't know if it's like a shonen like thing.
Yeah, Dragon Ball's a little different, I think.
Maybe.
But yeah, people don't like. I don't think when people talk about Naruto, they ever talk about the comedy. I don't think negatively or positively.
Oh wow. To me, it's like this is obviously a comedy series. Now the thing is, this arc at the end, obviously there's not much comedy in that. So it's like I guess maybe it's just the initial opening period is like this is clearly a comedy manga or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's just the episodes 2 and 3 are obviously like one 20-page manga chapter. Again, this is me complaining about pacing. Stretched over a thing, and I think they just probably reiterate the joke a few more times than the manga chapter would.
We love it.
But yeah.
But we don't actually.
Konohamaru's a fat lady at first, EliteAri. That was hilarious.
What is this? Remind me of this? The fat lady? Oh, the person they turned into. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yes. Very funny.
The sexy jutsu.
You know, actually, however, let me just say, there are 2 jokes that I wrote down that are actually hilarious, and we'll talk about that later, but that's in the later arc, okay?
Okay,
not in this early stuff. Like I
what's the other
laughed.
problem? I'm interested.
Yeah, so the first one was the comedy. The second one is
Hold on.
Well, okay, go ahead.
It's probably characters. It's probably something boring like characters. Obviously, you brought up the Sakura thing, and Sakura doesn't do anything in this arc, so it could be that thing, but I don't think you care. Like, a lot of the time, people attack Naruto for, like, it's not feminist or whatever. EliteAri doesn't care about that. I could see him being annoyed with Sakura or something like that. Is it that? It has to be characters.
I mean, I can just tell you what it is. It's the story itself and just everything about it is just incredibly simple. Which is like it's not necessarily a terrible thing, and I'm sure as time goes on it'll probably be more like less simple or something. But this is clearly a story that's been like iterated on to death in like sequel things that not sequels but like future like stuff that is inspired by it. And I think everything that I've seen that is based on this is clearly better than this in terms of like the interest of the storytelling. Now this is a thing where it's like I wonder if I did watch this back in the day if it would be more novel or more like interesting of like, oh, like this, I can't believe this character is doing this, like I can't believe we just did a fake out for Sasuke's death, that's crazy, like I've never seen that before. Like stuff like that where I'm like, okay, so we're doing the most like when it basically the story is incredibly like predictable, but that's
just
not really
say the
issue.
G word, EliteAri. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, generic. True, it is generic. That is true. But the thing is, like, it's okay to be generic because it is probably one of the first things that inspired a bunch of other stuff. So I kind of get it. But the issue isn't really like the genericism or the predictability. It's just like how simple it is. Where I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know what it is, but it's not terrible. That's the thing. Like the comedy is bad, and I don't think that'll ever be fixed. This simple storytelling, I might like get used to it, and I might like it as time goes on. But right now it's just incredibly like simple. I don't know, but yeah.
The it'll get more complicated, definitely, I guess, is what I would say to that. The especially immediate. The first arc of Naruto is very interesting in isolation, as there was like a counterwave in like 2017 where it was like the Land of Waves arc is actually the best Naruto arc because it's like a simple arc where it's just them on an adventure or something, and there's not all this plot bullshit happening because people don't really like. There's many criticisms of Naruto's plot and stuff like that. I think it's interesting. The Sasuke fake out is pretty notorious, I think, in this part.
Actually, let me say, because I did make fun of it just then, the only reason that I found it bad is because I knew obviously he doesn't die there, because I know Sasuke is like a famous character. So I don't know if I was watching the first time, maybe I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't know, like if I was watching back in the day.
Yeah, but, that is obviously true. But even then, you'd probably figure out that he has an unresolved backstory thing that hasn't happened. But it is funny because even the normies, when they're reacting to Naruto, don't fall for Sasuke's death for a second. So shout out the normies, we love them. I did watch like 300 episodes of them reacting to the show. But that was always funny. Like not even Nahid fell for it. So that was crazy.
Oh my god.
Anyway, is great. There are other things like that, definitely. Like episode 3 is just about Naruto. Like I could definitely see the Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke stuff at the beginning. It is very like kiddie love triangle stuff, and I'm sure that like grades people and stuff like that.
So this is like one of my overall thoughts related to what you've been saying so far, which is that to me this show is very surprising to me that it's so popular. Now there's two reasons that this could be the case. One is that it becomes more interesting later on, and that is why people like it so much. The second reason, which I think is probably the more likely reason, but is maybe a mix of both, is that it's probably very popular amongst kids. Like I could imagine kids enjoying this because of the simplicity of the storytelling, and the kind of like humor that's like very easy to understand. Where I could imagine like you start out liking it because you're a kid, and then as the story gets more complex, you kind of get older as well, and it would kind of be like a story like that is the appeal and why it becomes famous.
Yeah, it is like that in like a Harry Potter sense, where it's like though it's a lot darker than early Harry Potter, I would say, and definitely still in moments here. So
it is true. It is surprising to me that people like died in this. Like that was I was surprised. I wasn't expecting it.
Kids be dying in this EliteAri. It's pretty epic.
Yeah, true.
That is true. Naruto do be killing people. Which is funny because it's a thing. Never mind. I guess I shouldn't say that.
I don't want to know One Piece spoilers.
But yes, truing and truing. So the 7 categories, I guess. Maybe
I got
you don't have. Okay. Yeah, probably. Do you want to go? Because
first thing, because we'll see, and then we can go from there. Because I have 3 more like overall thoughts. One is just to say this is briefly tied into what we said before, which is that the introduction of Kakashi made things more interesting. I do like that.
We freaking love Kakashi. We love that guy, EliteAri.
I think it's pretty good. Like I do generally enjoy him. If we want to talk about character, I mean, there's like we can just jump around. There's like too much to say. And my 3 overall thoughts. I have one for Kakashi, like I just said. I have one that's about what my favorite characters are, like in order. And then I said just production related stuff. So how does that tie into your 7 points?
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Well, my first. Let me just say the points, and then we'll go back into your 3 points. And anyway, my points were character, storyline potential, power system, visual, dub, soundtrack, and pacing. That's 8 things, EliteAri.
Okay. I think that's fine. Pick one.
So yeah, do your dot point first.
Oh, my dot point. Okay. Well,
you were gonna rank your characters, and that was my first one.
Okay, so I think I have a very clear ranking of characters at this point, but we'll see.
Hold on. I'm predicting again.
Okay.
I'll just say a thing I wanted to say. Kakashi is my favorite Naruto character, so that's interesting. That's like a touchstone for people watching who wouldn't be familiar. I will say I liked Naruto. I feel like as a kid I didn't like Naruto the character at all. He like annoyed me, and I definitely liked Sasuke a lot more.
Mhm.
Because he was edgy. Um, Naruto is like by far and away I think the best character in this early part. I'm not sure
Mhm.
EliteAri will think that. Um, so I think you'll probably go Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, just because Sakura doesn't really do anything. And I guess there are other characters. I don't know how they would factor into the ranking. I guess Zabuza and Haku exist, right? Um,
Mhm.
they're both cool, I think.
Yeah,
So
I
I guess
guess
I
for
have no
me,
fucking idea what you're gonna say.
I was ranking just the like the ones on our side. I didn't count those two, I guess, but
Yeah.
we can talk about them. But it's a very funny ranking. For me, we can go in like I'll just say who they are. Okay, there's obviously Sakura is my favorite. Like it's not even close. And
Interesting.
yeah, and then we have Kakashi, who is like the next favorite, who I like a lot, quite a lot as well. And then we have Sasuke and Naruto, and I don't really like either of them. But we'll see as time goes on. Okay, firstly, Sasuke is like I don't know, he's kind of boring, is my main thing.
He's so
Um,
like it is very try hard cool.
yeah, and then
In some
yeah,
hilarious ways.
and
He's
Naruto's
gonna
just
kill a certain somebody, and it's like
yeah, and that
fuck
certain
yeah,
someone is his
motherfucker.
brother. Oh my goodness, it's
Oh
crazy.
my goodness! Don't
Um,
worry, I wrote that down, EliteAri.
but yeah, Sasuke is kind of boring so far, but we'll see. And Naruto is just so annoying, you know. I just don't like his comedy, and the comedy
Yeah.
is a big part of like how he like talks and stuff, and I don't like it. Um, but yeah, like just to also justify my like of Sakura so much, I guess. To me, it's like firstly, it's like maybe I was a bit too harsh when I said there's like a big difference between like first and second, because Kakashi is pretty good. It's not like a massive difference between like Sakura and Kakashi, but to me, she feels like the only character that to me feels like a person. Like Sasuke and Naruto, for instance, they just feel like Sasuke's like I'm gonna get revenge, and Naruto's like I'm gonna be the strongest, and I'm like okay, I don't
He's
really.
finna be Hokage.
Yeah, but where Sakura is like oh, you know, I like this guy. And I'm like, oh, that's like very like real, and I kind of like that. And like she has this like she like hates herself and stuff at points where she's like has that internal monologue talk. Like she just has like those monologue cut bits or what not cut bits like cut
Yes,
scenes
she
or
does
whatever.
have the internal.
And she's like,
the
I'm an
charm
idiot or
monologue
whatever. Or
delivery.
we hate Naruto. And I'm like, oh, that's very cute. So I think like yeah, that's why she's my favorite. Obviously, Kakashi is like super cool, so I like him for that. And also, Kakashi is like surprisingly, you would expect him to be more like a Sasuke kind of character, but he is like more lighthearted and like funny. Not funny, but like he's more. I guess lighthearted is probably the best word. Where he's like joking around sometimes. It's like oh, it's kind of surprising. So there's more to him than like a Sasuke that's very plain, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, there's like a bit of characterization for Kakashi where he's looking at like all his dead friends or whatever he says.
Yeah,
And it feels like he's very like go with the flow, like whatever happens, happens type guy. Where he's like, he does care about these kids, but if these kids died, it would be like he would be sad, but he would be like, this
He'd
ain't the
move
first
on.
kids that I've been around that have fucking died. So he feels like even when the stakes are very high, like he's not too concerned with them type, too cool for school type thing, which I think is interesting because it is a bit of a different characterization than I'd say he's characterized as in the fandom or something like that. I think it's very. First of all, I want to say I am a big Sakura defender, so I'm not mad at EliteAri liking Sakura at all. I'm sure there are people listening to this that are pretty mad.
Hey, we'll see how this
Sakura
evolves, all right? But, yeah.
Yes. Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
All right.
It's pretty obvious, like, if you're a little kid watching this, why Sakura is like rage baiting you with everything she says. Like she really likes the hot guy for like no reason other than he's hot. She hates Naruto and makes fun of him all the time, and you probably relate to Naruto a lot. And she's like a vain little girl or whatever, and it doesn't fight in this first arc and stuff like that. So it is like pretty obvious that like I can see why people hate Sakura or like why little kids would hate Sakura a lot. There are a lot of grown men that really hate Sakura too, though. So that'll be funny. It is interesting. I think I did have the thought that you might like Sakura at some point when I was watching it. I don't remember what spurred that on, but I'm not completely shocked by your like of Sakura.
Yeah.
I guess generally just on characters, we'll get a comment on other big ones, all right, or relative big ones, all right. So first of all, the other big one from there's like 3 from episode 1.
Chapter.
So we have Aruka Sensei. What do you think about Aruka Sensei? Do you remember who that is?
Yeah, he's the guy that almost dies to the random
nice
no-name like ninja guy in episode 1, which is very funny. He is. I don't have any strong thoughts on him. He's just like fine. Yeah, it's okay.
He's just a guy. He kind of takes Naruto to get ramen.
He feels like a background character a little bit.
First guy that believes in him.
Yeah. I don't know.
True. There's Mizuki, who's the bad guy from episode 1. I doubt you have much to say on him.
Yeah, he's a villain, and that's everything.
I guess they don't really say what happens to him.
Naruto beats him to death.
Yes, I don't think he dies, but
yeah, I would be surprised if
I'm
he
trying
did.
to figure that out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he never comes back. So there you go, EliteAri.
wonderful.
I think there's a filler arc, a filler episode where he does come back though.
Epic.
But
I'm probably not going to remember who he is unless they give a flashback.
No, Though I guarantee you, in a filler episode, half that episode would be a flashback to episode 1.
Wonderful.
And then there's also the introduction of the third and current Hokage, EliteAri. Any thoughts on the old man?
I've heard the fourth Hokage mentioned one.
Now, this is a thing that everybody gets confused with when they start Naruto for the first time. So there has been 4 Hokages, EliteAri, but the third one is the current Hokage because the fourth Hokage died saving the village when the nine-tailed fox attacked. Okay. So the third had retired, but he came out of retirement after the fourth died. I was going to say an adjective, but I guess I won't say that. And so he is the Hokage again in his like second term, basically. The implication is that there really wasn't anybody else who could do it at the time. So he had to come out of retirement. This is a really cool little detail. It's oddly complicated for the beginning of the story. But obviously everything I just said will be fleshed out quite a bit, and it's all pretty cool. So, but yes, we have currently the old man, Hiruzen Sarutobi, is the third Hokage. And the fourth one, who has not been named at all, died and sealed the fox in Naruto, etc., etc.
That's right. Goodness. I remember that.
What a mean guy. Why'd he do that to Naruto? You also see a shot of the fourth Hokage in a cool outfit standing on the top of a giant toad in episode 1, ready to fight the nine-tailed fox. So that's interesting and intriguing. I wonder what's going to happen there. But yes, that is something I did want to clarify. Third Hokage is current Hokage, but there was a fourth, EliteAri.
Okay, that makes sense.
Will Naruto be the fifth? Oh, you don't know, EliteAri, but I do.
I don't actually. Let me think. Would he be the fifth? I mean, I don't. Probably. Like, I feel like this is if this is going to be. I mean, it depends how complicated the story, I guess, but it is a very simple story. I feel like that would be the simple answer, but we'll see.
Truing. There's also in episode 2 we get the introduction of Konohamaru, the Hokage's grandson, the honorable grandson. I'm sure he's your favorite guy.
I don't like him. No, he's very annoying. But you know what? We'll see. Like, this could be a character where if we don't see him for like 50 episodes, and then he comes back and like, oh my god, that guy from the early stuff. I like him. I miss him. I don't know.
Sometimes spoilers are funny, EliteAri, but I'll refrain myself.
Lovely.
I was going to tell you exactly how many episodes you had until you saw him again.
All right.
There's also his trainer Ibizu, who is supposed to be some great trainer that is training him. And he gets knocked out by the harem jutsu, which is a offshoot of the sexy jutsu, of course, because Naruto used shadow clones, so he had lots of them. Thus, it's a harem jutsu. EliteAri, you understand?
I do understand. Yes.
But true, he's there. EliteAri has no comment. We can move on.
Yeah. Hey, I have a comment. I don't like him. Okay.
True. We also get like one tiny little bits of characterization for kid characters that will be important later on.
Wait, we saw Hinata for 2 seconds, and I know she marries Naruto.
We do see Hinata in episode 1. She does pine over Naruto. This is funny because this is not in the manga, so it is like the anime putting these characters in where they should be. So that's kind of good. It's good for continuity, I guess. Miller the Killer was complaining about that when he found out about that. We also get Ino, who is the blonde girl that walks to school with Sakura, who seems to be her sort of rival. She also likes Sasuke. Can you believe it, EliteAri?
I do remember this from episode 1 or 2 or something. Yeah. Okay.
Now, episode 3, I believe. But obviously Sakura is your favorite, so you have to hate Ino on principle, of course. Her rival. The character Shikamaru gets a line or two to Ino specifically. When he's sitting at the back of class commenting on things. Shikamaru will be a character later on.
I don't remember. But is a name sounds familiar? The name is like, oh,
yes,
Shikamaru.
Yeah, it's a famous character, but yeah. They also name the teams, and like Hinata's team gets named, who would be Kiba and Shino, but you get absolutely no characterization. You also see Choji, who gets put in Ino and Shikamaru's group. He was chomping on some chips, EliteAri. So there's a bunch of little characters here with tiny little bits. Did you love Hinata from first sight?
I didn't have strong thoughts on her. You know what I thought? I actually have one note on her, and I said, "Is Hinata blind? Is that why she doesn't have pupils in her eye?" Now
She has big eyes and no pupils.
okay, so it's just
Nice
the
catch,
design thing.
EliteAri. You're
Okay.
picking some
Oh,
things up.
maybe it is a
You'll
thing. Oh my
see.
goodness. Okay.
Maybe she's ninja blind, which heightens her other sense and makes her better at fighting. You don't know.
I guess we'll find
We
out.
do learn about Kekkei Genkai later, EliteAri. It could be a bloodline trait. You don't know.
Maybe.
I was taking a drink, EliteAri, so
Yep.
just had 2 more
Well, I'm
words.
trying to think. Do I know any other characters? Any thoughts? Hinata, I had that note. I don't think I have any other character, no.
I think we also see the senseis for those other things for like a brief second, like when Kakashi's introduced, like the Hokage is standing and he's like surrounded by all the 2B senseis for their groups. Because ninja groups, you have a sensei and 3 students, squads of 4, etc., etc.
Right.
Those will be other characters later. I don't think they got. Oh, I probably did say kunai. Wait, not kunai. That's the knife. What's her name? So that's the K and
Kakashi.
Asuba. No. Oh my god, and I'm forgetting the guy's name too.
Wait, Zabuza
Kurenai?
and wait, who are you talking about?
Not Zabuza.
Wait.
No, it's the other teachers who you don't remember at all. I'm just flexing for the people who know. And the other guy, Shikamaru and the gang's sensei. Anyway, later, then we get. I guess we'll do these in a group. We get. Oh my god, what's the bridge builder's name?
I could not tell you. I don't know.
Tazuna in Inari, and the mother and Kaiser are all introduced. Any thoughts on these ones in terms of general characters?
Bridge builder, he's okay. I give him like a B tier. You know, he's like he's a little funny, but like yeah, he's like got a good heart. And when he tells like Sakura, like, oh, it's okay if as long as you're with me, we can go check on Sasuke. And I'm like, oh,
they hold hands and they run over.
Yeah, that was really cute. I did say oh in my reaction that I recorded for that episode. But he's fine. And then the kid, I kind of liked his story. Like he was pretty good. Like the kid who was like crying about his dad dying and then all that. Like that was pretty good. Like I'd say that's an okay character. The mother, I have no opinion. For half the like for those early episodes where that mother's introduced, I thought it was Haku. Is that the guy's name? Because they look so similar. I was like, oh, is this like we're meant to be deceived? Like it's actually the mother, but no, it wasn't.
Haku's a boy, EliteAri.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah. But who else was there? The kid, the mother. I don't think there's anyone else.
Kaiser, the dad.
It's fine. I don't know. I don't really think much about him.
He got freaking killed, EliteAri.
True, he did. Yeah, his arms got battered to bruised purple states or whatever. It was crazy.
True. In the manga, his arms got cut off, EliteAri.
You know what? That's what it felt like they were implying, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another. This is just because I probably won't remember this later. There's another bit of censorship when Kakashi kills Haku. He's supposed to like impale him, and his hand is like stuck. But in the anime, his hand's not stuck. But he's acting like it is, which that's kind of cool. Which is interesting because Naruto, I don't remember having any other censorship other than this. But it's interesting.
Yep.
But true. Then we do have Haku, Zabuza, and Gato, I guess.
Gato is just I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on Gato. He's
a bad
generic.
guy.
I'm a villain. I'm a money hungry villain. Okay. Then Zabuza has one of the coolest moments in this entire arc. So I like him for that, which is when Naruto like is speaking to him or whatever, and he's like, "Your words cut deep" or something. I'm like, "Oh my god, it actually got it!" And he starts crying, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" So I guess I like him quite a bit, but mainly just for that moment, I guess. And then Haku's interesting because he was like in the present day, he's like kind of boring, but also I like that we got a flashback like backstory for him, and it really added to the character a bit. Where in the present day, I'm like, oh, he used to be like a little kid, and like he was suffering, and now like I kind of like that element to it. But him as a character was kind of I don't know, I didn't really like it that much.
I hope you like flashbacks, EliteAri, because you're getting a few of them. I'll tell you.
I do like flashbacks generally.
Yeah, and I do like this one a lot. I will just say we didn't really. Well, I guess my next category is storyline, so I'll save it for that. But true, and I think that's basically literally every single character in this first little bit.
Yep.
I literally can't think of another one. The ramen guy is introduced when Naruto goes to get ramen. He's like a reoccurring character that people meme that they really like a lot. There's going to be jokes in the fandom about how ramen guy could totally beat up the best guy in the verse, the EliteAri, and that's going to be really funny and you're going to laugh. The ramen guy also has a daughter at some point, so watch out for her.
You know what? I don't even know who you're talking about, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing.
Well, I think he's in it for literally one shot. When Iruka and Naruto go for ramen, they go to the same spot all the time, and this guy's here. And he's going to comment every once in a while on Naruto's progress or something.
Good.
Ichiraku Ramen. That's the name of the stand, EliteAri. I can remember everything. Don't fuck with me. Is that guy's name Ichiraku? We'll never know.
Hmm.
Did you know Naruto is like that thing that's in ramen, EliteAri? My
No.
goodness. It's like a little white thing, which
Okay.
I think is when he paints his face in episode 2. I think it's supposed to look like that. I don't know. Anyway, he
Hmm.
painted his face. It was pretty funny, bro.
He
You were
did.
laughing.
I was
The
not.
next part is storyline, EliteAri here, which again is very simple. We gotta save the bridge builder who's gotta save his town and from the bad guys who are hired bad guys by this evil tyrant business guy. I will
Hmm.
say in all of this, and I guess this intercedes with characters a little bit. And also, I guess generally we get trajectories for sort of Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke. There is literally a scene where they are introduced to Kakashi, and they all say their motivations and their goals and stuff like that.
Wait, now could I
And
recall
also,
them? That's the question. Wait.
oh, I
Um.
did have a quiz for that later, but we can do it now.
Okay, so we've got Naruto wants to be the
Hold on.
strongest. Easy. That's like.
Sure, no, they say what they like, and then they say what they want.
Oh God. Okay. I could not tell you. Wait. What? Oh my God. I don't know what Naruto likes.
Naruto likes ramen,
Oh
EliteAri.
my
He likes
God.
2
Okay.
types of ramen. I can't remember what he said, but Naruto likes ramen.
Okay. And he wants to be the strongest. Sasuke likes. Was it all food? Is this food? Like what?
No, Sasuke says, I don't particularly like anything.
Oh,
It's
that
like the
sounds about
monologue
right. Yep.
that everybody memes on.
Yeah. Okay. We got that.
And what I have is not a dream because I will make it reality.
Is
He's
that what he
gonna get
says?
revenge
That
on
is,
a
that is what
certain
he says, isn't
someone
it? That's very funny.
and redeem his clan or something.
Yes.
And then
How
Sakura has another
amazingly
funny one.
cliche. Sakura, I don't know what she likes. Does she like? She wouldn't say she likes Sasuke. I don't know what she said for liking something.
She
Um,
says, the thing I like, the person I like, I mean the thing I
we
like,
love it.
and then she stops talking.
That's why she's so good because she's so like she's just like a person. It's so good. Anyway,
And
and then
Kakashi said, like, doesn't answer the question at all. He's like, well, the thing I like, well, I'm not really going to answer that. And,
true. I do remember
the
that.
things that I want is. So, no, it's like Kakashi's a mysterious guy. But he does
Yeah.
have these, like, porn books that he reads while he's training.
I
Make
don't
Out
remember
Paradise.
that. I remember there were books, but I don't remember that. But okay.
Yeah, it's like a sleazy novel or something.
Wow. All right.
Because it's like Kakashi is like an underground perv. He doesn't get nosebleeds, but the other guys do, but he's still a perv.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's epic, and that's hilarious. In terms of storyline stuff, because we do get motivations and stuff, it is very simple. Land of Waves is notoriously a little simple.
Mhm.
I will say, I think the ending, like the last 2 episodes, are like 10 out of 10 phenomenal episodes. You briefly brought up the Naruto speech, which is kind of technically the first instance of Talk No Jutsu,
It's real
which is
good.
really cool. Talk No Jutsu is great. I'm also a defender of that. He basically now Zabuza has hinted that he does like Haku and he understands that internally he likes Haku, but Naruto does make him admit it. And it's
Mhm.
very cute. And Haku's fucking dead, and Gato like kicks his body, and you're like, get that guy. And then Zabuza has the cool little thing where he runs up and he cuts the shit out of everybody and all that stuff. And he dies and he goes down. And then there's like 3 different dying monologues from Zabuza. And I'm like, tear it up,
Yep.
EliteAri. I didn't cry because I ain't no bitch. But I
Uh-huh.
thought, this is fucking epic and I love this.
Mhm.
This is also something I remember the normies having a very emotional reaction to at the end.
Jesus.
So generally, I guess there's like, especially on the bridge when they're fighting on the bridge, I think the pacing there is pretty atrocious.
Hmm.
But I do think the payoff is like, I do really like those last 2 episodes. I think they're very, very emotional. I think Naruto does tragedy like extremely well, and it does it quite often. And this is like the first instance of it, and it'll be interesting if I think any of the following instances are as good as this, because like it's very slow paced how they go through this tragedy, but I think it really, really works in this aspect where it's slow monologues, and then it starts snowing, and then we are intercut with the flashbacks, and there's like 3 different sets of the flashbacks, and like there's the part where like Zabuza like catches like a fucking rabbit, and you're like, oh, he's gonna rip this rabbit's head off and show Haku how like life is, but he just gives it to Haku, and they like smile and they hold hands or whatever, and you're like, oh, they're fucking dead. I'm fucking crying right now. So I really, really, really like those 2 like last episodes. It might literally be the last episode, and I'm misremembering. But also like the animation notably gets better for certain little parts at the end there.
Yeah, I do have a note on that. I said that, especially episode 19, there's actual good animation. I was like, wow,
yeah,
that's weird. I don't
which
know
is
why.
interesting because it is very, very limited in parts outside of that. but it's like old and stuff, and it's like a TV anime. Also, an important thing is how Naruto is an old anime, in the fact that it basically just ran for like 14 years with no breaks. There's no like
Wow.
seasons. So it's pretty hard to coordinate like saving up for good animation pieces, right? I assume scheduling it when it's a season is a lot easier to like prepare for certain big moments to be big moments. It does do it. There are very notable moments of Naruto like having pretty stellar animation. There's some very controversial bits of animation in how
I have heard
wacky they
about
get
that
sometimes.
actually. I don't know what
Yeah, I
what
feel
it is at all, but I've
seen the
heard
clip
it.
and stream or something.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, maybe when we get, that's a long way away, that particular instance. So,
Hmm.
also, I always say that Naruto is like the only thing with good fights ever. I wouldn't say that these are like the prime examples of that, but we'll get into that later. But true, I think the storyline in the end, and this is kind of all character stuff, so I don't know why I'm talking about in the storyline stuff, but I think that ending bit with Haku and Zabuza is probably the highlight of all these episodes.
I would probably agree. But the thing is, it's not very good in general. But it's like, I think it's the best stuff so far. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't. Like, literally, I mean, sure, maybe if I go through my notes, I'll find moments that, like, did stand out. But I think the Zabuza bit that I just said about Naruto telling him stuff and he said that cut deeply or something. Like, that might be the only bit that actually landed. I don't know what else would have stuck out as, like, an emotional moment. I think, one moment that did stand out was when Naruto came and saved the mother with the kid who was like standing up to the two people on the pier or whatever.
Cool.
That stood out, and that was like a bit like similar to the Zabuza moment that landed. Yeah, I don't know. Besides that, no emotional stuff or anything for me in this section.
EliteAri. I've scrolled down to my episode 19 notes where I, of course, wrote out the whole Zabuza monologue here, where he says, "Your words cut deep, deeper than any blade. While he fought you, his heart was breaking in two." Talking about the great Haku. You see Haku was always too soft and too kind. He felt pain and sorrow, and curse him because now I feel them too.
Yep.
And something else I think I was supposed to write. I feel content in the way that this is how it ends. Oh my goodness, he found redemption in the end. And another thing that's I remembered always thinking was hokey, but I really, really, really liked when I watched it this time, is the monologue at the end where Kakashi says, like, maybe Zabuza, you can go to heaven to be with Haku or whatever.
True.
Wow. And I remember thinking, like, that's like a thing people make fun of because Zabuza is like
obviously
a
go to hell,
evil guy.
Yeah.
But that's like a Christianity thing, even though this is not a Christian story at all. But you can find redemption in your final moments, and I think that's probably a very thematic thing Naruto definitely believes as a story. So Zabuza's hanging out in heaven with the great Haku.
Maybe.
And then I have a different monologue here, I think. But they're gonna be happy, EliteAri, because I freaking love them.
True, maybe. Yeah.
And I just generally, because I generally do think all of this stuff is generally pretty good. I had a good time rewatching it all, so I'm not as down on it as EliteAri, even though I completely understand mostly where he's coming from.
Well, there's an interesting point to make about you specifically, which is that, like, we've had a lot of discussions on particular, like, many different anime and stuff. And there's a lot of times where you've compared stuff to Naruto and you've said, like, oh, Naruto did it better or did it first or something. I find that hard to believe. Yeah, well, that's the thing, where I'm curious if I go back and listen to those things after I finish Naruto, if I would agree with you or not, because I feel like I'm almost certainly not going to agree with you. Yeah, which is, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of any example.
That's the thing, I don't know either, but... Yeah. Let me think. Like, what about, like, even just Aki and Sasuke or something like that, where it's like they're not. I don't know much about Sasuke yet. I've only known him for 20 episodes.
Sucks.
Yeah, but like, obviously,
Sasuke's way better.
Yeah, to me, it's like Aki's night and day. Like, it's not even close. Like, I see the inspiration. They're both the brooding kind of goal-oriented kind of character.
It's not
but Aki's like obviously a million times more complicated.
Just
and interesting.
Aesthetically.
No, I think character-wise, like, you've got both of them have a tragedy with the Gun Devil, and you've got the destroyed village or whatever. You've got both of them both of them are retreating, like, from social stuff to kind of focus solely on that goal. Like, it's very much like there is a very direct kind of comparison. But Aki is just much more interesting because he's more complicated to me. But obviously Sasuke could become more interesting.
He's never said or done anything interesting his whole life.
True. He kicked the Katana Man's balls with Denji. It's great.
Yeah, that was lame. We don't like that. I mean, there's just so much.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll revisit this, okay? When we
come.
Yeah, we'll revisit this in 200.
I don't know. Sasuke is not one of my favorite Naruto characters. I don't think. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what I think about Sasuke, I guess.
Indeed.
I know Sasuke is pretty cool, but that's because Naruto, the show, was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. But truing, and I'm sure I have said that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
All right.
Never mind. I just thought about something, but then I thought I'm not going to say that.
Good.
Um,
I'm glad you're
I
being so
guess
restrained
the
in
next.
this. This is perfect. I'm very
Shut up,
happy.
EliteAri. If you keep making fun of me, I'm going to start spoiling things for
Go
fun.
ahead.
Let me tell you what. The I guess storyline potential. From your, there's a lot set up. Not really. There is set up, but you don't really understand it's set up at the time because it's not like setting up characters, though it kind of is with the kids that are introduced for like 5 seconds. Um, but there's a lot of like world stuff that's set up. There's a lot of power system that's set up. From the way you've been talking about it, I don't think you have anything to say about this yet, and I guess I will reiterate
I
them
have some
probably
things.
in a little bit. Okay, go. Do you have
Very few
notes on like
things.
specific things? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I don't think I do. But it's like,
Okay.
firstly, in terms of power system, I don't think I have much to say at all. I would just imagine that this is a show where when it's important, they will make sure that I understand it. They will keep telling me a million times until I understand it. So I'm not too concerned about not following that at this point. Like for instance, the Sharingan. I might mix up the Sharingan. There's like a lot of words that kind of sound similar, but Sharingan is the eye thing, right? Or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's yeah.
Yeah.
Miller the Killer was complaining about this also. The Sharingan has like 2 powers.
Well,
And
I don't have an issue with the
it's gonna get
power.
more
I'm
complicated.
just gonna say I'm glad because they explained that like a million times, and I think I understand it somewhat. But
Oh, well, why don't you just say Miller the Killer? You're retarded, because he was so confused.
wait, earlier it was two things. One is I could be misunderstanding. You can correct me here. He was talking about how one. Well, this could also be like a lyrical interpretation that Zabuza was having, but he was talking about how one icon or like one like version of the one power is that it can copy the ability or something. And the other thing
True.
is that it lets you like get inside the opponent's head or like mess with them like emotion like whatever like their emotions or something.
Yeah,
But
kinda.
yeah, that was my general idea. But
True, you're a genius.
true, thank you. JJK helped me out. Which wait, actually at this point, since
On
we're
the
talking about this, let me just say about the JJK thing is Gojo is obviously like very directly inspired by Kakashi. It is very funny. Like both in terms of like visual, like he's got the mask, whereas Kakashi's got like the thing on his mouth or whatever. But Gojo's power is literally like almost it's like an improved or like more complicated version of Kakashi's power. Like it's very clearly a reference
of the
to it.
Sharingan?
Yeah, of the Sharingan, yeah. Because it's well, even the way they describe it, this is like minor. This isn't really JJK spoilers because you hear it in like episode 1 or 2 or something. But
You could spoil anything.
yeah, you've got Kakashi, when they're describing the Sharingan, they talk about how it's a eye that can read the abilities of everything and understand blah blah whatever. In the same way they describe Gojo's infinity as like not infinity, his I don't know what they call it, the 6 eyes or whatever. Is that oh my gosh, it's a thing that understands all of the things it sees and it can like replicate stuff and it's like the basically Gojo's like infinity and especially the 6 eyes or whatever very clearly like a Sharingan reference, which is interesting. I wouldn't have expected to be so direct. Because I know people like do compare Gojo to like I don't know what in Naruto. I assume Kakashi, but it's very clear. And
I'm
also
pretty sure it's
like,
Kakashi.
and JJK also just generally has like Naruto has hand sign stuff that it does, and JJK kind of has it doesn't do the hand sign stuff that Naruto does, but it has similar kind of poses and stuff that are like very Naruto inspired. Unless they're both drawing from the same kind of Japanese thing, I'm not sure.
Well, I think it's Chinese mythology.
Or Chinese maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand
Anyway.
signs are like the coolest thing ever, EliteAri, when you're a little kid, so that's why.
True. Because you watch Naruto as a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what were we talking about before my Gojo tangent?
Well, I think we were talking about power systems and you understanding the Sharingan and how Miller the Killer is a big dumb idiot. I do have something to say about a bunch of things you just said, but
go ahead.
Unless you want to go back. Just more so what I was talking about with the power system is the thing that I like about Naruto's power system is basically characters can literally like have any superpower. And they can also have a mix, which I feel like I've always been frustrated with like in My Hero you can only have one power and it feels like limiting and you kind of have to figure out how you can make this power multiple powers. In something like Hunter x Hunter it was very complicated and you could only have like select powers and stuff like that. In Naruto, basically any superpower you can think of, they will just make it a jutsu. So that's kind of what I admire about the Naruto power system, is that like it kind of in the end has no rules and you can just like any superpower you think is cool is going to be a jutsu at some point, and I think that makes for like really cool fights and stuff like that. Now there are a lot of rules to it,
Hmm.
but it's not really limiting in terms of like abilities. Like there will be some absolutely insane, crazy jutsus eventually.
Hmm.
And it's just like, well, I guess they can do that. That's really cool. That's just why I admire because I always
Yeah.
talk up the Naruto power system.
I mean,
But
I've
that's like my
seen,
whole point.
yeah, I've seen a bunch of stuff with like my understanding of what you're just saying, stuff like that. Obviously the go-to example is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where it's very similar. Where
That's
like there can
probably
be pretty crazy powers that like, and you can change your power in JoJo's and stuff as well. So it's kind of similar in that regard, I guess. Um, I guess I would have probably said Hunt Hunter, but maybe it's stuff later on in Hunt Hunter you haven't seen yet. But
that is true.
it is
Well, I
kind of
guess in Hunter x Hunter, it felt like it was always really complicated. It's like, and from the Naruto thing, it's like if this guy wants to have lightning, he's gonna have lightning, and if this guy
sure,
wants to
yeah,
have fire, he's gonna have fire.
yeah, yeah,
Those are all like elemental things, but I guess to say more specific things would again be spoilers. So,
yeah,
um,
sure.
because never mind.
JJK is also, I'm assuming, probably based on what you're saying now, even probably based on Naruto in that way for the power system too.
But
JJK, especially when it
you
comes
always
to the
say that's like
domains.
complicated, right?
No, well, JJK is very complicated in the rules of its like powers, but the powers themselves are like pretty straightforward. Like the effect of the power or
Interesting.
whatever. Usually, like you can. I don't want to say anything because you'll probably watch it one day and you'll be interested about it. But JJK also has a kind of similar thing to like Hunter x Hunter, where it's like you can have a special power just for you and you can change it and stuff. But I don't know.
I think a lot of people like have the exact opposite opinion of me, where they do really like the Hana Hana one, where it's like very
Mm.
specific and specialized and stuff. Like I just remember like what's the fucking pedophile guy's name?
Hisoka.
um, Hisoka, his like bubblegum thing or whatever. It's like very complicated and like quirkily simple or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, I don't care about this. But
It's
anyway,
both
I'm
rubber and
sure.
gum.
Yes, the properties of both rubber and gum. I know the memes, EliteAri.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's funny that you're and I'm curious if you just no, you probably realize this. You're talking about the Sharingan as Kakashi's power is very interesting because it
Yeah.
is Sasuke's clan's power. So it's
Well, he
like
does use it at
you,
some point. Like he has
yes, he does
the
unlock it in this first fight, which is a very understated moment, honestly,
mm,
because they don't. And I guess nobody else really sees it, so I'm wondering if they're going to comment it on like the next fight he gets in.
mm.
Um, he also doesn't copy anything yet. Well, I guess the only fight he was in was with Haku, and you can't copy
Wait, he
Tekkengen.
copied he did the whole copying of the like stuff in the lake or whatever when he's standing there and floating. But I guess that was like a more mental thing, wasn't it?
Standing there
Oh wait,
floating in
sorry,
the
you're talking
lake.
about Sasuke. Sorry, I was talking about
Yes,
Kakashi.
Sasuke.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Kakashi.
Yeah.
Kakashi copies a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, Sharingan is Kakashi's power. Alita, you don't know nothing about Naruto. You're an idiot.
True.
But that's just funny. And hand signs were cool. I said that already.
Oh, I have a note on the hand signs. Well, actually, we'll save it. We'll save it. Keep going. Keep going.
Wait, why not do it now?
No, you'll see why I'm saving it. Let's keep going.
Okay. Let's do the tiger hand sign right now. Are you doing it, Alita?
I could not possibly know what it is, but I'm putting my.
I don't know what it is.
I'm
I know
doing
that's
like
one
a
of them, though.
pyramid with my hands right now, and that's probably what it is.
I know the general one, which is like you into like the shadow clone jutsu is you do like the cross with your fingers. That one's pretty easy.
Mhm.
And then you do the other one where you put them like together. See, this is as cool as trying to do the Kamehameha in your shower. You got
That
to
is
strike a
probably
Naruto pose. You flex and you're like, oh, I'm fucking doing it right now, brother. But you never actually.
It is it's
One-
a super cool moment when Haku's doing the one-handed like thing. I'm like, oh my god, one hand, that's crazy.
It is like a crazy moment because I'm pretty sure in all of Naruto he is the only character that ever has one-handed hand
That's pretty
signs,
cool.
which is a very because that feels like a quintessential power that like everybody should learn at some point because it's cool and
And you
like
can use
shows
one
a
hand,
mastery
yeah.
or something. But I'm pretty sure nobody else ever does that. So
Yeah, we'll
he like
see.
blew his stack on this cool power with Haku,
Yep.
which is interesting. And Haku's freaking dead. So,
Rip.
but yeah,
Or
that's
is he?
always something weird that you go back and you.
He cried at the end. There was a tear coming down his face. Maybe he's alive, but I don't think so.
True, he did cry after he died, but he also made it snow after he died because he's cool
True.
and stuff. But true, that was he freaking cried.
Yep.
I guess we're moving on from power systems. My next one is visual. I obviously like it a lot, but like I like old anime. Obviously there's some repetitive like animation stuff. But in terms of just general aesthetic, I would say I like it a lot. EliteAri probably doesn't.
This is really bad. I mean, like, it's interesting because episode 1 is like decently animated and stuff, and I think it looks okay. Then there's like a sharp decline, and like the rest of the episodes of this section, except for maybe episode 19, and very like brief moments of like, oh, this like looks good both visually and is animated really well. The majority of it is like, this is really like rough. Like there's a lot of stills, there's a lot of like zooming in and on like a still image to make it look like it's moving, and like,
Yeah, with
I don't know.
animation.
But it's not like, it's not even an old thing, because like Dragon Ball isn't like this.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, I'm pretty, well, I don't think it is, at least from, I don't know. Okay, let me make it more direct comparison. One Piece isn't like this, and I've only seen, now to be fair,
Really?
I've only seen 2 episodes of One Piece, to be fair. Now, yeah,
I
no,
feel like
it's
One
not.
Piece is very much like it.
Well, not so far what I've seen. Naruto is like very, like the art itself is rough a lot of the time, and the animation is very rough. One Piece art is so far has always been really good. Animation for One Piece is very clearly.
I thought you hated the One Piece art.
Did I? The art? What do you mean? The animation.
When you dropped it after watching
well,
like one episode.
That's
like
what I was just about
ago.
to say. I was gonna say the animation for One Piece is very clear. They're trying to save like money or time or whatever. Like there's a lot of cost like cutting measures that are very obviously being done compared to the movies that I've seen for One Piece at least. But
oh yeah, you did
like,
watch the movies.
But like compared to Naruto, it's like it's definitely better. Like what Naruto has a lot more issues in regard to like the production. Clearly, like One Piece is not.
It is interesting.
That good either. Like I wouldn't compare it to something like a modern day anime at all. But it's like very clearly much. It's, I don't know what it is, if they had way more time or like energy because it's like a bigger production company or something. But One Piece is very clearly better made like production wise. But yeah.
It is interesting because I'm assuming you like One Piece a lot, even though you've only seen like 2 episodes. Because you did say that thing on stream where you're like, I have a very different opinion of these 2 shows, which is crazy. Because the One Piece anime is terrible, but we'll get over that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, EliteAri. There's also like obviously I feel like I've seen a lot more anime. Like I've seen Pokemon and a lot recently. And I would say Pokemon is very similar to Naruto in like the panels and the zooming across the panel and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm probably much more used to it, but also I like the Berserk aspect. Now, obviously, Berserk's art is a lot better than this in the
yeah, definitely
97 version or whatever. But obviously, there's a lot of like still shots in that and stuff like that.
You know, it is funny because this isn't the worst thing I've seen. The first Berserk movie I watched was probably the worst looking thing I've ever seen.
The CGI one?
Yeah, that looked. I remember thinking that looked real bad. Yeah.
Well, I've like seen them so much that I like that art style now. But everybody.
Hey, I love the second one and the third one look really good. It's that first one looks terrible.
I do remember thinking they were better.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Anyway,
it's been a while now. But we're truing right now. I am assuming the visuals will probably be the same because basically what happens is there's no filler episodes until like 100 episodes in. Okay. And I think once the filler starts, I think the general episode, like the canonical episodes, do like step up a little bit.
Well, let me just say also, however, if we're talking about visuals, I don't think it's like too bad. Like this isn't really a big issue or anything. It's like something I would kind of expect from like a long running old kind of show, I guess, like this. I know it's surprising to me that One Piece isn't like this, but this is fine. But it does have like good, like, it's not very highly detailed a lot of the time, but the background art, like the world feels like big and stuff. It's not like they're skimping out on details of like what the world feels like when they're traveling a lot of the time. Like the environments vary quite a lot. It's not like they're always in the same place. The bridge and the mist stuff was kind of annoying where I'm like, okay, so we're just in a mist this whole time. And it's like a little, like we're seeing one character here and the rest is mist right now. And like, wasn't a big fan of that.
Zabuza's power, bro.
Yeah. But outside of that, it's like, you know, they go to like different towns and the towns look cool. And I don't know, it was like visually okay.
True. I did another thing where I was going to say something, but I didn't say it, EliteAri.
Excellent.
Because Naruto's visual identity definitely changes over time, but
wonderful.
That's all we'll say about that. I mean, never mind.
Okay.
My next category here, EliteAri, is the dub.
Okay, good. Ahead. No, that's good because I was going to say we should talk about dub stuff. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, continue.
Obviously, Naruto is like one of the 3 good dubs, so go ahead, EliteAri. I'm sure you don't think so.
That's interesting. You think it's one of the best ones. Do you actually think that? You think it's one of a really good dub?
Well, yeah, but it's probably all. There's definitely some bad line reads in this one. It's probably all nostalgia. Like these are very universal voices in my head. Like some of the most familiar voices would ever be familiar with.
Sure. Okay, I think.
There's.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, there's definite parts that are really good here. I do really like Naruto's voice actor, which is like an old lady, which is cool. Well,
Oh
not an
wow.
old lady, but like a middle-aged lady.
Mm.
Um, I've always been iffy on Sasuke's, and Sasuke's is probably like the most famous voice actor because he's like the voice actor in like the Spider-Man games now. He's like a voice actor
Oh
in a
wow.
bunch of things. Um, he also tries to say things in a Japanese way all the time, which is it's odd because he's like the only character in the whole dub that does it. Um,
Mm.
Sakura's voice I like, Kakashi's voice I like. I guess I just like all the voices actually.
Mm. Interesting. Okay.
There's definitely like the Sasuke dub, the Sasuke monologue is like terribly cringe. But I guess it's like a meme and it's kind of cute to me.
Mm.
But there's other moments like that where it's like a little cringe, but I don't think you care about things that I think are cringe in dubs ever. So
Mm.
I don't think if you have problems, it's going to be anything about that. So
Yeah, so the dub overall, I think for the most part is like fine. Like it's nothing stand out. It's not too terrible. There's only one character that stood out as like, oh, this is really a bad performance or whatever. But he
it's
got better.
Naruto.
He got better over time. Like initially it was very bad, but then I kind of like it's not really an issue anymore at like episode 19, and that's obviously Sasuke. Like the performance, like the
Interesting.
actual acting was bad. Like it wasn't just the line. It was like, oh, this is a very weird flat delivery, which feels like fake. But he got better. Like I don't have any issue with him in episode 19. But there's only
Because he's dead
really
for all of it.
yeah, like, yeah, suppose that's a good point actually. Maybe no, there's no. Even when he's in like the mirror place, like I don't have any issue with that dialogue or anything. Like the way he's speaking and voicing and all that. Um, Now in terms of like who I actually like, Naruto is like I don't know, he's loud and like annoying, but I think that's the point. So I don't have really an issue with the acting. Um, I think there's two that I like where I was like, oh, this is like good voice acting. And that's probably Zabuza, who I thought was really well done. Like he sounded good.
With Steve Bloom, and everybody
Oh,
likes to
that
say
makes
that all the
sense.
time.
It did actually does sound like him now that I think
It's
about
Spike
it.
Spiegel.
Yeah. And the other one is Sakura, who I think has a very good voice actor too. Um,
It is interesting. She has a very unique voice. I feel like I haven't heard her in anything else when I was racking my
I
brains.
think
That's probably not true.
I'm fairly sure because this is firstly I heard her voice and I was like, this is really good, especially like just throughout like the whole it was consistently really good. And I think I'm pretty sure I looked up her voice actor and I didn't recognize her in anything, or maybe I did, but it was like some niche thing, and I was like, I don't know. I guess I've just never really heard her before. I think, um, yeah,
True, that supports what I just said. I like that.
yeah. Anyway,
Did you
but
say anything about Kakashi?
yeah, outside of that, Kakashi I think is like a mix where it's like most of the time I think is really good, but sometimes where it's like, oh, that was a weird.
There is some
like,
parts at the beginning that are a little weird with Kakashi where it doesn't sound like it's supposed to, I
yeah.
think.
Kakashi's biggest issue is the fact that they don't animate his mouth moving, so it's like awkward when the voice is coming out of like the still frame of like him just there looking at us, and it's like,
That's freaking epic, bro. We love that.
yeah, true. I don't
There
really
are
have
quirkier
thoughts beyond that.
performances coming up, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
This
Oh,
is interesting.
wait,
Naruto changes.
I do have some
a
notes,
lot.
okay? Which is that
Go ahead.
I watched this on Amazon Prime Video. Because there's like you can get a Crunchyroll
Interesting.
subscription through it, and for some reason the dub is available on the Crunchyroll subscription through Amazon, but
And
not on
for
Crunchyroll.
whatever reason, it is not on normal Crunchyroll, which
Yep.
is the most retarded thing of all time.
It is kind of crazy.
Go ahead.
But the even crazier thing is that episodes like 8 and 9 don't have the dub for some reason. So I had to I subbed to the sub for those two. I was like, oh, I'm curious. We'll see what it sounds like at least.
Interesting.
So I have listened to the sub, and it was like, I don't know, it was good. Like there wasn't actually any issue with it that I was like, oh, that's like weird or anything.
I will point out,
yeah,
that when I finished Naruto the first time, the dub wasn't all out, so I did switch to the sub for like
oh wow,
a majority of the last arc, and I am like beyond excited / curious about watching those last bits in the dub, just
sure,
because
yeah,
I feel like I already really like all that stuff. But I think it will resonate a lot more if it is the voices I
Yeah.
remember from like my whole life. So I
Definitely.
am very excited to get to that stuff a lot later. And in the rewatch I didn't get past the part where the dub was up to. I do remember being very depressed when 13-year-old me caught up and was like, oh, the
Ugh,
dub is done
it's a
now.
terrible
I gotta read
feeling.
subtitles.
Yeah.
And it was quickly after that where I gave up on my mission. Because I guess I didn't say this before, but in 2014, I watched up to like the very beginning of the final arc. And then I didn't watch it. Like I dropped off Naruto for like 3 years and only came back like way later.
Wow.
And then just watched the last arc again.
Mhm.
So I definitely forgotten a bunch of little details and stuff. And that was like all sub. So that's like even like 3 years after it had ended, the dub wasn't all out, which is funny. So yeah,
Excellent.
it'll be very interesting seeing it all in context.
So
why I've seen the sub too is basically the point of what I just
yeah,
said.
so on my takeaways from the sub, there was one actual takeaway. So the episode I watched, well, one of the two
Oh,
episodes that I watched that was subbed
I'm gonna write this down.
was the episode where Kakashi is facing off against Zabuza on the lake or whatever, the water, the river, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And they're doing the hand signs and they're like mimicking each other and they're doing the voice like the same thing they're saying at the same time. Yeah, exactly. And the sub is, firstly, the dub doesn't translate or like do the dubbing for the actual voice effect they're using when they do that. Because I went back and I was like, oh, because I looked at the blind wave reaction just to see the dub like scene of it. Because I was like, oh, it's so cool in the sub. I wonder what they did, like how they adapted this, and they just didn't do it. Because in the sub, they have like a sound effect of like, it sounds more ominous, and they have like the reverberation of the voices, and they're like overlapping and like different like sound effects basically. And I was like, oh, what an interesting choice. And then I go to the dub, and they're just saying the words, and I'm like, oh, okay. So this, I'm assuming there's like a bunch of stuff like that in this that I don't really care that much. Like Wonder Egg Priority does that as well at one point, like in one scene specifically where there's like a voice on the speaker, and in the sub they like do it in one ear, I think, or they like make it go back and forth between the ears, but in the dub they don't do that. And it's like, oh, there's probably little things like that in a bunch of dubbed anime you don't really pick up on, but
they don't got the freaking budget, all right?
True. Well, it is also funny because this is probably really early days of dubbing anime, I'm guessing. So I wonder if they'll get better as time goes on. Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
True. Well, there was something I thought you were going to bring up, which is an interesting thing, but you're probably completely oblivious to it because you're so stupidly, right? Not really. Naruto has a catchphrase in this group of episodes.
No, wait, he says, wait, I got this. Wait, don't tell me. He says,
here you go.
You believe it or something. Oh, you believe it or something, right?
In the dub, he says, believe it.
Believe it, yeah. He says it a lot.
In the sub, he says a word that apparently isn't a word that Naruto just made up.
Oh, I know it.
Databayo.
Yeah, Databayo. I know it, but I don't. The only reason I know this is because they said it in some other anime, and then I think all the comments in like a reaction video were saying it was like probably a Naruto thing, and I was like, oh, okay. But yeah.
It is Naruto's catchphrase, and they attempted to adapt it in these first 19 episodes, and I believe these first 19 episodes only as Believe It. Now, Believe It is a big meme, so you'd think it was through the whole show. But I'm pretty sure they just don't adapt it into anything moving forward in the dub.
Lovely.
Now, people in YouTube videos try to say that, like, oh, this is just because there was such backlash against it, which is obviously not true. No kid had a backlash to him saying Believe It, or had a way to, like, know their displeasure at it.
Yeah.
And it is interesting. I know they do have Naruto's like repeat a phrase all the time. Naruto, never mind.
Okay.
I could probably say that in a non-spoilery fashion, but it's like in some aspects, it's like the biggest spoiler ever.
Well, then don't.
Yeah, there is like it sort of becomes plot relevant at some point, and they do have a substitute. I think they make him say in the dub way later, but I feel like for like probably like 300 episodes, he says like nothing. I don't know what they have.
I'm glad.
Maybe he just repeats the line that he just said a little bit. Honestly, you would never pick up on this. Like, it's completely fine until it kind of becomes plot relevant, which is like a little thing, which makes it really cute in like the sub and how he says Databayo. But we'll get to that moment in part 13 or something. But yeah, that's a thing. Believe it, Databayo. I'm sure the people wanted me to inform you about that, EliteAri. So.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure you're never going to hear him say believe it again, and if you do, it'll only be for like the next few episodes, but they do drop it, and that does make it hilarious that it is such a meme.
Yeah. If he does, I'll tear up, and I'm like, man, what a cool reference to back in the day when he used to say that.
I wonder if, honestly, in the dub, the ending dub episodes that I haven't seen, maybe they bring it back because by then it had become a meme, because they would have been dubbing it in like 2017, 2018 or something.
So you're telling me Naruto's alive in those final episodes? Interesting. Okay. Wow.
I mean... Maybe he dies and comes back to life.
True.
This is Dragon
Ball. Like Kakashi and Zabuza and...
True, there was like 3 episodes in a row Kakashi died at the end. It was pretty great.
Yep.
Oh, are we done with the double EliteAri?
Yeah, pretty much.
I have soundtrack EliteAri, which is a very unique kind of sounding soundtrack that I definitely like a lot.
Dun, da, 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 da. Oh yeah, I know that. What is that bit? I know that song. Like, is that from
Naruto?
No, I know it's from Naruto. I mean, is it like in mid credits? No, there are no mid credits. I don't know. Is it just like a track?
No, it just plays all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like mostly when like they're dicking around in the village. Okay. There's also like Suya.
Sure.
like that one, Leary?
I do. That was really, you did that
this-
really well. Jesus.
Don't worry, Leary. You've been hearing these songs for a million years. There's also the sad one. I
don't know this
that
one.
That one was not as good singing, Leary, but
Okay.
I guess Naruto obviously is split into two shows. The
Mm.
soundtrack completely changes when we go into Shippuden.
Mm.
So these are a very select group of like very nostalgic, like old Naruto songs. So there's definitely that going on. In my general enjoyment. Naruto is also such a long show that I have never and would never choose to listen to these songs outside of the context of this show, just because I've heard them all so much that it's like grating. But in the show, I like it a lot. It's unique. EliteAri recognized some of those songs. That's got to mean something, EliteAri.
True. I generally like this soundtrack. I think it was good. I only wrote down one song or whatever that I liked, which was I don't know how to explain this, but it gets used a bunch, and it might be the sad one you're talking about, but probably not. It's
it probably is.
Well, it's when Kakashi is in bed and is like explaining the Shinobi tracker lore, and it's like playing this music in the background. I'm like, oh, this is like kind of cool.
No, I think that's like the ominous one.
Yeah,
like,
whatever that is, I like that.
Ooh,
that's basically it. Yeah.
Ooh. It's like that one.
Maybe. Yeah,
that
probably,
was almost a good impression, but not quite. Unlike my first two singings. I guess this is a good point to bring up the opening and ending. I think the opening I used to hate this opening. And Miller, interesting enough, DM'd me the other day and said, this is the worst opening I've ever heard. I definitely used to, like, because it's really orange and stuff, and it's like sunset, and sunset's the most depressing thing in the world, and I've thought that since I was a really, really, really little kid. So I really didn't like it. I really love it now. Now, it's not one of my favorite Naruto openings, but there are literally 28 of them. Or 27. No, it's 29, I think. Anyway, there's a lot of them. The ED though is it was number 7 on my favorite ED of all time. I really, really, really love the ED. Don't cry, it's all right. Don't fight or something. I used it at the end of my core themes and changing context in Attack on Titan video earlier. You love that video?
Oh wow.
But yes, and obviously they're going to be changing quite a bit, so we'll comment on these progressively. Maybe we'll make EliteAri do a tier list. EliteAri famously skips openings all of the time, so I watched the recap, the opening, the reopening, every episode, EliteAri, because I'm just a good guy. Also interesting that I'm pretty sure every single episode, besides the first one, opens with just the straight opening, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
thoughts on these songs, EliteAri? Do you have any?
So, firstly, that's Kyle lied completely. I never skip an opening because I watch the opening at least once. Okay, every anime I've seen, I watch the opening once. Now, how much I like the opening,
a song from one listen.
Well, I was gonna say is how much I like the opening will depend on influence how much I watch it. So something like Eminence and Shadow, I watched that once and I'm like, I never need to watch this opening ever again because that was not good.
There was a comment that said that was one of the best ones or something. I saw that comment.
I don't know about that.
But or maybe it was the ED actually.
Zenshu ED is what you're thinking about. But for Naruto, for this specific, like this first opening, I watched it maybe like 2 or 3 times. Like it was like, okay, I would probably never watch it again. Like it was enough for me to be like, oh, what? Like every few episodes, I'd be like, what was it again? Let me hear it one more time. And I don't know, it was okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Like it was, to me, it was interesting that besides the song, there was some good animation in that, which is like, wow, if only the show had like more of this, like they could just take the scenes from this and like put it, and they're like fighting this random guy or something.
That's definitely a thing with old anime.
Yeah.
Where like the opening is always the best animated, like in Pokemon, that's always the case.
Sense.
Like the opening is way better than everything. It's like the eye catch or whatever.
Yep. But yeah, the ending, what was it? Sing it again. It's
Don't cry.
Oh yes. That's
Don't cry.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. Yeah. I really like that. I've listened to that outside of the show where after I finish it, I got it on YouTube and I listened to it on loop for like 100 times. So
epic.
The actual visuals I think are fine. Song though, like combined with the visuals, it's like really, really good. This could be in like my top, like if I did a list of like top 20 or something, it'd almost certainly be in there.
You can go back and watch your reaction to my placement of a list and you're probably very dismissive.
True. It's really good, yeah.
There's a lot of, obviously, like, there's some Naruto openings you will recognize, like the Silhouette one, which is literally, like, probably the 23rd one. Nanimo! Nanimo! You know that one, EliteAri?
No, I don't think so. Maybe,
yes,
I guess we'll see when we get there.
I'm pretty sure you did recognize it. Oh, no, I don't think I had it on my list. Anyway, it's, like, one of the most famous anime songs ever, you know that one, so There will be ones so that'll be cute when we get to those ones. But
Mm.
we want an updated tier list. I actually don't think it's the next episode it changes. I think it's like 3 episodes from when we're about to do. But also Naruto does a weird thing where the ED will change before the opening a lot of the time.
Okay.
There are more EDs than there are OPs. Like I think there's like 50 EDs.
Yeah, they need to update the credits.
True.
I don't know why. No, that's not why.
That's like an idea, maybe.
I don't know. I'm
but yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure you could just edit the text in the ED and nobody's gonna notice anyway.
Mm.
But true. They're all cool, and we'll comment on them as we go. Some of them are really good. You know.
Good.
The next one's pretty fucking cool. No, and I just remembered the next ED. It's not as good, but it's pretty cool. And the last thing I had was pacing, EliteAri, which we've already commented on. You don't really have a big problem with it, so that's interesting.
No, not really.
I do, but anyway. I have 2 more overall thoughts, but one of them's predictions, and I just put it at the top so we could get to it at the end. Okay. Oh, it was just me saying that I've seen the Land of Waves over and over again, so actually we do not. I do want to go through some things. I don't think we're going to end the video just yet. I do have a bunch of like lore things I want to reiterate to you, and stuff like that. And I think it might be worthwhile, unless you have something you want to like a place you want to go right now, EliteAri, in going through at least the first few episodes and the detailed notes I have, because I do think it establishes a bunch of things. But we'll skip anything we've already gone over and stuff like that. Is that okay with you, EliteAri?
Yeah, the only thing I've got left is just a list of miscellaneous stuff. So we'll see. We can save that to the end.
Do you want to actually? Why don't you do those first?
All right, I guess.
Yeah.
One thing is that I was very surprised that I guess I'm still surprised that they're still kids. I thought that it'd be like the first 2 episodes or something would be them as kids, and then like they'd like grow up or something.
Kids!
Like they'd be older or something. But they're like
kid on kid violence.
Well, that's not really a thing that even crossed my mind. It's just like they're just like little kids, which
kids
is like
as weapons of war.
I don't know if it's like maybe I don't know why. In my mind they're like older. Now maybe it's because I've seen like older designs or something, but nothing like they look like the characters I know, but they're just like surprisingly young. So I'm like, okay, so that's like a thing. Miscellaneous note.
This is something Miller the Killer also commented on. He said they're 12. This is crazy.
Yeah,
they are 12.
Yep. Okay. I have notes on eyes, which is, I said, is Hinata blind? We talk about that. But also, Naruto closes his eyes so much, and it's like really weird. I don't know why they do it. Like his eyes are closed and he's talking, but clearly he can see, but his like eyes are closed.
He smiles and he closes his eyes, right?
Like I guess whatever it is, it's really weird, and I don't like it. So
he also has like not freckles, not the thing whiskers. He has whiskers on the side of his face.
I don't remember that, but okay.
That's crazy, but okay.
Yep. What else is there? Oh, this is like a big thing about power and stuff. I wish they'd build up the reputation of the Hokage more, because right now it's like there were like a few moments where, especially in this latter few episodes, where they were like, I think specifically about Haku's power, they were like, no one can beat Haku's power. I'm like, what about a Hokage? Like, what about like could they like beat the power? And like, I don't really understand like how strong a Hokage is, because they never get brought up as like they're like it's the thing that Naruto is striving for, but like how strong is like a Hokage really? Like we see them seal the fox or whatever, but they like die sealing the fox or whatever.
Oh, you didn't see that.
Yeah, I guess we don't really see it, but we hear about it. And the old man like doesn't seem particularly like strong, but he might be. Like there was a whole point about don't judge a book by its cover. Or
don't underestimate the great old man, EliteAri.
Yeah, but it's like it'd be cooler if there were like moments where they're like, you know, and like no one can beat Haku's power except maybe a Hokage or something. You'd need a Hokage to beat the power. Like stuff like that would be cooler or like more interesting, but they just never mention it. So I don't know. That's a bit boring.
This is actually something we will talk about for a second.
Okay.
Power scaling is obviously a massive thing in Naruto. People like it a lot. This is probably maybe the most notorious piece of power scaling in the whole entire series, is the absolute lying Zabuza does about how powerful Haku is.
True, okay.
Haku is not nearly like he tries to imply that Haku could beat Kakashi. There is no world in which Haku can like do anything to Kakashi.
Oh wow.
But Kakashi seems to believe that Haku is also stronger than him here.
Yeah.
So it's probably just a bad retcon. But yes, there is multiple times. So I guess we're kind of going over this now then. There are 4 levels of ninja, EliteAri. Do you want to attempt to tell me what they are?
There's the bad one, the okay one, the Kakashi one, and then the Hokage.
Well, actually, technically there's 5 if you count trainees. But there's trainees, Then there's Genin, which is what the kids are
Yes, I know that.
when you
Yep.
first graduate. Then there's Chunin, which is what Aruka is. Aruka
Oh,
is the
that triggered a
representative here.
memory. Trunian exam or something. I've heard that phrase before. I don't know what that is, but I've heard that. Okay, go
My
ahead.
goodness. They need to take an exam to see if they can bump up
That
EliteAri. This
would
is going
make
to be
sense.
exciting.
Yeah.
Then there's Jonin, which is what Kakashi is, which is an elite level ninja. Now, what's said here is that Haku has taken out many like high level Jonin. This is probably an insane statement and not true at all.
No, I trust Zabuza.
And then there's obviously the Kage. Wait, what did you say?
I trust Zabuza. He wouldn't lie about his friend. My
True.
goodness.
There is also an excuse of like Zabuza doesn't realize how strong Kakashi is, and Kakashi does beat him pretty easily most times. Now, Zabuza did trap Kakashi, and Kakashi probably would have lost if Naruto and Sasuke didn't save him, which was a pretty cool moment when they did the little shadow in the shadow thingy. That was really cool.
Yep.
But that was just to set up the plot of EliteAri. But Kakashi Zabuza pretends that like the Sharingan is like Kakashi's ultimate weapon, and he like mocks him and says, "You shouldn't have shown it to me twice," or whatever.
True.
But then Kakashi shows his actual ultimate weapon, which is the Chidori EliteAri. It's pretty cool. He holds the chakra in his hand, and chakra is not supposed to be visible, and then he impales
It's
Haku,
visible.
but not really.
He's holding it in his hand. I'm like, true.
True. He was freaking the fuck out. Also, we see chakra be visible multiple times, which I guess is a non-diegetic visual.
Yeah.
Not really what EliteAri means by that comment. But like we see like whenever like Naruto will power up and just also we're gonna see chakra all the time. So this is another like
I'm glad.
we're kind of doing some retconning here, I think a little
Yeah,
bit.
when we see the great Rasengan that I was talking about, I'm sure we're gonna see it, okay? If that's what it indeed what it was, yeah.
There's and then I guess I was still saying there's the Kage level. Now, do you want to say the 5 Kage for me?
What? Hokage. There we go. Hokage. That's the only one I know.
Hokage is the Kage of the village hidden in the leaves, which is from the land of fire EliteAri. What's really complicated? Now, this is actually ridiculously complicated, and they do it all at the beginning, which is interesting. The ninja structure, every big country has a ninja village. Like the ninja infrastructure is like their military, basically.
Okay.
But the Hokage is not like the ruler of the country. The country has feudal lords. And the woman whose cat we save is like the wife of the feudal lord of the land of fire, which is where the village hidden in the leaves exists. Now, you will constantly forget that the feudal lords exist. And then at some point they are kind of relevant. And I remember the first time through thinking, they just invented feudal lords 700 episodes into this show. This is weird. But no, that is mentioned at the very beginning here. So that's kind of crazy. So the Kage is like the leader of the military branch. Now, the Kage is not necessarily the strongest guy. It could just be like the smartest military guy. But generally, he's kind of the strongest guy, EliteAri.
I would assume.
Is it? Could Kakashi beat up the old man, EliteAri?
I would be very surprised.
Questions that are answered in the future. Why wouldn't Kakashi be the Hokage in that case? Maybe he doesn't want to be it, EliteAri. You never know.
Sure, it's oh my god, what an epic my Mask reference from One Punch Man. Well done.
We don't know anything about One Punch Man. That guy's not cool.
Yeah.
And he's bald, frankly. Which part was I up to? Oh, the military. So each village has like ninjas, right? And they like have schools for ninjas. And we kind of get a mention in this that like the Leaf Village seems like the nicest one, kind of, especially in compared to the Mist Village that had like a dictator for a little while, and the graduation exam was killing all the other kids, which seems incredibly impractical. But it does make true. Well,
oh wait, you haven't got to that.
Do I know about that? I think a memory just lit up in my head of like I've definitely seen a YouTube video where somebody said, "Oh, because Naruto does get accused of stealing from Hana a lot." Obviously, Kurapika's got like eye powers, right? And he wants revenge. So he's kind of like Sasuke, even though their designs are very different. There's also the Hunter exam versus the Chunin exam, and things like that. Hunter x Hunter was very popular like the year before Naruto started, so I believe it.
All right.
I pivoted a little. What was I saying? Ninja villages. Oh, Zabuza wasn't even a trainee, and he just showed up and killed everybody, so they accepted him or whatever. But also, Zabuza hated like the evil. Hold on. So we're naming the Kage. So we've got Tsuchi Kage, which is the Rock Village Kage. We've got the Kaze Kage, which is the Sand Village Kage. Now, again, what makes it complicated is that the Leaf Village is in the Land of Fire, and I know the Sand Village is in the land of not waves. That's the place we went, which doesn't have a military, which is pointed out. Is in the land of wind or whatever, and I don't remember the other ones. So they all have like 2 names, so it can get complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. Kazekage, Tsuchikage, Mizukage is the missed one, which Zabuza tried to coup d'etat but failed, which is interesting. And kind of
Mm-hmm.
Zabuza seemed to have like a bunch of allies and stuff, and they couldn't beat the Tsuchikage, so that means that he's probably a strong guy. But also he has he is I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Something about that. You didn't hear what I just said, Illyri.
Okay.
Then we got the Hokage, and I'm missing one, which is the Raikage, of course, which is from the village hidden in the clouds. Doesn't that sound cool? Which
Mm-hmm.
is the rock place, I think, or something. No, it's the lightning land.
There is
the land of
lightning. I remember that. Because
True.
it was like
And they all have
Avatar,
different...
but there was like one extra one, and I don't remember
True,
what the
but
extra one
Avatar
was.
came afterwards, and Avatar fucking sucks, EliteAri. It's a
Avatar's pretty
shitty
great.
Naruto ripoff, and we don't like it.
Oops.
True. I was going to say something.
Yep.
Tsuchikage, something. Zabuza tried to coup d'etat, couldn't do it. So that shows that he was probably more powerful than even Zabuza. So my goodness. We do seem to be tiering. Zabuza and Kakashi are sort of on a tier, and they seem to be below the Kage. Every Kage would beat Haku with like one finger, I'm pretty sure. So that
We'll
answers your
see.
question, kind of. But yes, we will see. It is like a weird thing. The Haku's power is also really weird. It's very like specific and not really like how powers will be handled. Where he sort of does like Zabuza's another excuse for like the possible retconning here is that like you can't get out of the mirrors or whatever. But then Naruto does just unleash some of his fox chakra, and he does just like
Yeah,
break
because it's
them
so
all.
strong. What do you mean? I get that.
It
I believe
is,
that
but
completely.
oh no, I believe it. It's just that power will be power scaled later, and it's not as strong as anyway. Doesn't matter. But yes, so this is like a famous instance of like, because it's very funny when you get into power scaling discussions of this is literally stated in the narrative that Haku is this strong, but every other piece of evidence contradicts that, and it's like, what are you arbitrarily putting your faith in?
Yeah.
Outrightly stated things? Can you like argue that Zabuza just doesn't know, and that's why he's saying silly things? It was probably the intent in the moment that Haku was supposed to be this super powerful guy, but he's going to get pretty outpaced. But whatever.
Well, he's dead.
It's an
so
early thingy, but
we'll never know for
that
sure.
is true.
You know, maybe he could kill the people you
But
think he
yes.
would die to.
He killed some Jonins, apparently.
Yep.
And now this is another thing you briefly brought up, which is kind of a big theme. Naruto starts to kind of get thematic at the end of this arc. They bring up things like EliteAri. Are you ready for this one? The cycle of violence. Oh my goodness, what is
Did
Naruto
they? I don't
possibly
actually
gonna have
don't
to say
remember
about
that.
this? They do say it like twice.
Okay,
and they are
lovely.
going to say it in the future, EliteAri, so get ready for that one. There's commentary on using children in war, which is something Naruto comments on a lot. So this sort of goes back into your idea of like, they are very young. And it is almost something Naruto is ready to confront at the end. Because Sakura has a line where she's like, is that what being a ninja is like? Being like Haku and Zabuza? And Kakashi doesn't say no. He's like, you can't even ask that question because like whether what's right or wrong, you'll never know. And he has like a wispy line.
Yeah.
And so that is all interesting. And that is something that's going to be commented on. They are literally like kids trained from like very young ages to fight for the military.
Not good.
And you would think that's just like the premise. It's like in Pokemon, you're 10 and you go on an adventure. That sounds like wacky and wouldn't be realistic. And in Pokemon, you're just like, we're just chilling out with Pikachu. But in this, we're killing each other and dying. So we will be commenting on this a little bit. There's some other thematic stuff at the end, but it's like trying to get the Villain Saga themes from the prologue or something, EliteAri. We don't want to question you on that yet.
Excellent.
Probably not as interesting thematically as Vinland Saga.
Well, nothing is.
So, my goodness. Say it ain't so. But true, was that all your miscellaneous notes? I think we just pivoted off
I
one of
have,
them
I
about
have so
Haku
many
being strong.
miscellaneous notes.
Good, go.
I have 2 notes, and they say actual good comedy, okay?
Oh,
so
yeah.
2 examples here. I was just dying laughing both of these, okay? So one, let me give some context. So actually, I don't need to give context because the first line will give it away.
When Naruto shit himself, bro.
No,
That's hilarious.
It's when this bad guy, I don't know how you do. There's a bad guy.
Gato?
He tries to steal Sakura's bag, but then she hits him because she thought he was trying to touch her butt, and he like stammers and he's trying to explain himself. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's very funny. So that was very
Sakura's
funny.
one attack.
True, yeah.
The fuck out of that guy.
Yep, but it was just so funny how he's like, no, I'm not trying to. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you poor guy. Yeah,
that was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, that was very funny. And then this, oh my god.
And then the kid tries to do it, but she's like feels bad for him. Oh my goodness.
True, yes, that was good. Yeah. The second, this is hilarious, which is when the kid whose dog like gets thrown in the water, and then he gets thrown in the
Oh,
water,
true, and he
and then
swims
the
away.
dog swims away. And I'm like, that's so funny.
Poochie.
He just doesn't give a fuck about him like at all. He
Poochie
just,
didn't.
it's
And
yeah.
that's like a thing Kaiser brings up. He's like, yeah, you fucking didn't go in after your dog. The dog doesn't give a fuck about you.
Yep. It was very funny.
But true, they were gonna kill that freaking dog EliteAri. Naruto's crazy.
Then they were gonna kill the kid, and then they didn't care.
True, that one kid was like the most evil guy ever.
Yeah. Like, you try and save him, I'll kill you or whatever. I'm like, oh my god. Jesus.
Yeah. His name is Shooting Star. I remember that like was so
Wow.
like scary to me as a kid. Like someone stealing your pet or something. I didn't even have a pet.
That is actually
but,
that was a very crazy thing. Where it's like, man, what if someone just decided my pet is their pet? Like, what do you do? Like, it's like theirs now. Like, and the pet's not gonna care. Like, it's just like theirs now. It's like weird. Anyway.
True.
Anyway.
Yeah, so good pieces of comedy. We love the great Naruto. It's hilarious constantly.
That's right. Okay, next up. This show has a lot of cliffhangers, and I generally like them. They get me invested. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch the next one. Why not?
I was even getting annoyed at some of them. Like, I'm pretty sure 2 times in a row Kakashi died, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. I don't think I ever thought that he would die like strongly. There was one moment actually where it is probably the last fake out where it looks like Zabuza is about to attack Sakura or something
Kazuna?
When she's protecting the guy, and then Kakashi shows up, and I'm like, oh, I guess he could die here. Like, it could be a thing.
But he got cut on purpose.
That is true, yeah, for the dogs. Anyway, so that was
true.
crazy.
We'll get to the dogs.
Yes. What else is there? Oh, I guess speaking about Kakashi generally, don't say anything, please. It feels almost certain that he's going to, like, he'll be killed one day in front of like Naruto, I guess. Because like this is the simplest story in the world, and it's like, okay, of course that's gonna happen, and his mentor character is gonna be killed in front of him, and it'll be a big motivating moment. I'm invested when that happens. Oh my goodness, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like it's gonna be a great day when someone kills Kakashi in front of Naruto and Naruto powers up or something. Oh my goodness, I'm looking forward to it. Because I love Kakashi as a mentor figure, so I'm curious what it's gonna be like when he's no longer there. It would actually be even crazy though if he doesn't die and he's like there until the end of the story. That'd be wild, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah.
You think they copied that for Gojo too?
No. Yeah, well, yeah. All right.
Kakashi is not the strongest guy, so that's a difference, I think.
That is very true.
It is interesting because I remember people saying that, like, this is just Naruto if you were a really big fan of Kakashi, and he was actually the strongest guy the whole time. I remember that was like things people said about Jujutsu Kaisen very, very early on.
Yep. You know, it would just generally, you know, taking aside, because if anyone's listening 2 hours in, they're probably going to listen anyway, but now that we're watching Naruto, it would be interesting to see you watch JJK and talk about it. Or even if I did that with you and then we did like a comparison of like JJK and Naruto. We'll see, you know? You should consider it. Consider doing it.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Sasuke being so competent. Oh yeah, Sasuke is surprisingly competent at like skills and stuff. For some reason, I would have assumed a person of his trope of like, I need to get stronger so I can beat the village or whatever.
Would be
like,
weak initially.
Yeah, but he's not. He's like really strong.
Well, there is a little bit of that.
Well, there is, yeah, but it's like he is surprisingly very good, capable early on.
Yeah, so they have a comment on this where it's like, oh, how do you decide the teams? And it's like, oh, Naruto was the worst, Sasuke was the best, and Sakura was like somewhere in the middle, so we put them all together.
True, that is true.
So Sasuke is characterized as the best and like the best up and coming ninja in the thingy. And I think Kakashi, when like Sasuke starts doing really cool shit on the bridge, has like a whole monologue about how he's the heir to the most powerful clan in the whole village, and this is a so there's like a little bit of build up there. But yes, he does like beat those like 2 assassin guys kind of at the very beginning, which is like another kind of crazy power scaling thing.
True. Yep.
But yeah, but Kakashi actually has to come in and like do it. But they both have moments where they're scared, which I think is like a neat little thing at the beginning. Like Naruto in the first fight doesn't do anything and just is like frozen in fear. And then Sasuke has it with Zabuza where he's like smart enough to understand that like he's like so much more stronger than more powerful than he could ever consider. And then they do call back to that moment where he beats the water clones or whatever.
True.
But true.
Okay.
Sasuke is pretty competent. He has the fireball jutsu. Nobody else has an elemental attack yet.
True. Well, we got the great Kakashi, of course, with lightning. But true.
Well, yes.
Mhm.
Kakashi has water attacks too that he's copied and stuff like
True.
that. And
True.
Earth, the
Yeah, true.
summoning
The dogs
thing was Earth
that he
style.
then dismissed. I don't know why, but the dog disappeared at some point. I commented that
Well,
my
no,
reaction.
Haku like if you this is actually a small detail which is weird, but Haku throws needles into the scroll, which made all the
Oh,
dogs
I did
disappear.
notice that shot, and I was wondering what that was. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that is another cool thing. Like, it's kind of like the Attack on Titan thing. Like, you have to like. Well, I guess he didn't. He just used chest things. But usually, you bite your finger and then you put it on the scroll, and you can summon animals. That is a power you
That
can
was
have in
super
Naruto.
cool. That animation, or not the animation, but like the moment when it happened, I was like, oh my god, he's like doing the scroll.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you recall, EliteAri, the fourth Hokage was standing on a giant toad. So perhaps that's what was going on there.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yes, you can have animal summons. This is something that our characters might get at some point, and it's pretty cool. And the summoning by biting, like doing 3 ninja signs, biting your thumb, and then you don't always have to put it on your scroll. Sometimes you can just like do it in your blood on the ground or something later. It's gonna be fucking epic.
How exciting!
But yes, I guess I did want to bring that up at some point. You can summon things. That is part like you can use scrolls to summon weapons, animals, etc.
Yep. Exciting.
Pretty cool. Naruto's got a cool power system. Kakashi has dogs. I'm pretty sure. You could probably have multiple animals, but I'm pretty sure everybody only has one. Actually, I just thought of an example of somebody having multiple animals. So anyway, Kakashi's got dogs, and they can sniff you out. So that'll come back later, I'm sure. But true, cool. Oh, that was pretty freaking epic.
Yep.
There was a big mutt that was gonna rip Zabuza apart.
That's right.
My goodness.
But he didn't. He just kept him in place.
No, he didn't.
Yep.
It's true. Tadori him.
We have to talk about Haku's gender, which is such a weird thing in the story. Where initially I was like, "Oh, it's a woman. Like a woman is like showing up to like be really strong or something in the tree." And then Kakashi's like, "Oh, it's a boy." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, I guess I trust Kakashi now. It must be a boy because he wouldn't make a mistake." And then later on, I don't know what it was, but something heavily implied it was a woman.
Naruto thinks it's a girl.
Okay, Naruto, yeah, sure. So the story is like reintroducing the ambiguity of like, oh, I guess it's meant to be ambiguous. And then later on, it's like, it's a boy.
Just a joke about Naruto liking boys.
Yeah, and it was like, this is weird.
He did kiss a boy.
That is true, early on. Yeah, I don't know, this was just weird to me. It is just a joke? Is that what's meant to be, like, is that the point?
Well, I don't know. Anime's always doing this thing where there's a girly boy who ends up being really strong or something, and it makes you question your assumptions about masculinity, I guess, is the point. But it's also a joke. Like, well, I guess Team Rocket does it in Pokemon a lot.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Got to be a bunch of other examples. Isn't there a Dragon Ball character like this?
Android 17's kind of like not really feminine, but like looks like Android 18.
I feel like it's like original Dragon Ball. But maybe I'm just thinking about the really gay Red Ribbon Army general.
General Blue.
But anime's always doing weird things with gender, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. All right. So I'll just chalk it up to another bad comedy moment for Naruto. We love it. Okay.
No, it was epic. He said, "Plus, I'm a dude," and Naruto goes, "What?"
Yeah.
And then that was pretty cool.
So we have
that actually is a kind of interesting small moment where Naruto is not like strictly in love with Sakura. He's like,
well, he's like confused.
A new girl.
Like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, a new girl pops up and he's like, "Oh, I'll go with this girl. I don't give a fuck." So it's like a difference. Like Naruto likes Sakura because she's pretty. She's not like in love with Sakura the way Sakura is like in love with Sasuke, which is because he's pretty. But it also seems like there's no other boy will do. True, pretty and cool.
Yeah.
But yes.
Excellent. So, speaking of cool, I have a line written down here from Kakashi. He says, "In this world, there are kids who are younger than you and stronger than me." I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. It was a turn of phrase that I wasn't expecting.
Certainly not true, but it is cool.
Yeah, but it was very cool in that moment, so I like it. But on that particular scene, just about like at the end of that fight where Haku shows up and beats or kills Zabuza seemingly, and then Naruto is very frustrated and is like, "How can a boy, like a young boy, be stronger than me?" To me, it felt very much like this is happening way too early, and it feels very unearned and shallow, where Naruto's really frustrated very quickly. I'm like, okay, I feel like this is a thing that should be happening a bit later, when you've like maybe trained a bit longer, and it feels like you should be stronger, but you're not. But right now, I don't know, it felt a bit like, yeah.
I remembered this scene different, and I think I did like it. There's a lot of interesting Naruto stuff here that I had completely forgotten. Like
Mhm.
Naruto says at the end, like he's gonna find his own ninja way. And like something that's like core
True.
to Naruto's like a character that I thought was almost definitely something he said in episode 1, but he hasn't come up with it yet. So that was like crazy. But
Mhm.
on that like similar vein, um, the fact that he like just admits that he wants to be Hokage because he like wants attention is like crazy and something I didn't remember at all.
Hmm.
Um, like he wants to be Hokage, and I just assumed it's like because Luffy wants to be the Pirate King and Ash wants to be the Pokemon Master. Like obviously he
Mhm.
wants to be the Hokage is like the trajectory, and I didn't think there was a lot of thought put into it. But I really do like that he wants it because he didn't get any attention as a kid, and like everybody like hates him, and he wants everybody to like love him. And I think
Mhm.
that's like a very like vain, cool motivation. Um,
Yeah, true.
this will shift a little bit. So I think the realization that like he thought him and Sasuke were doing really cool stuff, sort of fighting Zabuza for a second, and then one guy comes in and one shots him, and that like frustrates him.
Mhm.
So I do kind of like that moment with all of this sort of like in the center of my mind. I feel like I did used to think this scene was like weird though. So what
Mhm.
can I say? How can I combat your dismissal of it, EliteAri?
I don't know.
Um,
Like, I guess I didn't. Yeah, now that you're saying it, the feeling I had
he's still got plenty
was,
of time to be stronger, right? Is like
yeah, of
kind of your
course.
point.
Yeah, like it would, to me, it might have landed better if he'd been training for longer, and then it's like even with all the training, he's still really weak or something. But separately, when the scene happened, and Naruto was like really, really like awestruck by this like girl I thought at the time on the tree, I was like, why is he so like dazzled? Right, like I didn't understand what was going through his head until he said it, and even when he said it, I'm like, oh, I guess I kind of believe it, but like not really. So it's like a bit of a
Yeah.
mismatch of like I don't really get why you're so frustrated in this moment. Yeah. Anyway.
I think that it's also supposed to be a little bit like the harshness of the death, maybe, where it's like, oh, he's dead, and he just like needled him in the neck. I don't know if like
Hmm.
Naruto is like compassionate in that moment or whatever. Um,
Maybe.
Naruto is not too compassionate at the beginning here, though, so I don't know about that.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. The Naruto like thematic character stuff is interesting, but it's obviously just beginning. Um,
Yep.
I guess that tied into the thing we were talking about earlier with like the child soldiers, where Naruto like basically says he's gonna like change what it means to be a ninja at the very like this is like the what do you call it, where it begins.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I didn't remember like the Zabuza thing being so impactful. Um,
Mm.
but it's cute that it is because I really do like that ending and stuff like that.
You do
Um,
like that ending, yeah.
Naruto wants to change the world. My goodness, can he
Yep.
do it, Elitari?
I'm sure he can.
Um,
It'd be crazier if he didn't, but we'll see. This is a very simple
that would
story.
be pretty epic.
Yeah.
Um, Truing.
All
I'm
right,
truing right
excellent.
now.
Now we got to speak about the best character in this, Sakura. Oh my god, she's a chakra prodigy. She climbs that tree, zero effort. It
True.
was very surprising, and it
She's
was
got
great.
chakra control.
Yep.
Oh,
Um.
and then Kakashi does the power scaling thing where he's like, obviously Naruto and Sasuke have way more chakra than
Yep.
Sakura. She's like, shit, you know what? And
That's right.
Naruto might even have more chakra than me.
Yep.
Um, which
Pretty
is
cool.
like, I don't know. Can you figure out why he has more
Well,
chakra,
he's got the
Elitari?
fox
Do
in
I
him,
have to?
obviously.
Yeah, obviously it's like he's cheating, and
Yeah.
obviously, like,
Well, I don't know if
it's
it's
like,
cheating. It's who he is, but yeah.
well, yeah. It's also like orders of magnitude more than Kakashi, so it
Well,
should be
yeah, I would
like a
assume.
consideration in his head.
Mm.
It's like it's another like early power scaling thing that's kind of interesting.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, Sakura is really good at focusing her chakra. I don't know if it's supposed to be like like obviously she like pays attention in school a lot.
Yeah,
That's like a
she
thing we
top
characterize her as. She's
grades.
like really smart. She even has like the monologue when she thinks Sasuke's dead about how like,
Yeah.
oh, and this ties into the changing the ninja thing too, where it's like a ninja should never show emotion. And like even Zabuza as he's dying has the monologue about how no matter what we try to do, we're still like people at the end of the day. So this is like
Mm.
a really stupid idea.
Yep.
And it's like an impossible to live
We
up to
hate the
like
Jedi
standard and stuff
code.
like that. True, probably.
Yep.
Um, so all that ties in and stuff. And even I think Tazuna has like an internal monologue where he's like, man, this is like not cool what they do to these little girls. And I was like, oh, I didn't
Mm.
remember any of this stuff. So that's really cool. I
Yep.
like all that stuff. The ninja world is broken and must be saved. Don't they do that in My Hero Academia or something?
I don't know.
Um,
Maybe.
Hero society is
Oh yeah,
no good,
true. The
Elitari.
stain. There are no true heroes. I will create a new
True.
hero. Okay.
Um,
Go ahead.
What was the original point? Oh, Sakura being cool. True.
Yeah, she was like a cool
Can
moment.
climb
I
trees the
wasn't
best.
expecting it, but yeah.
It's also like now she doesn't get any training scenes either. I don't know. It's kind of cool that she doesn't need it, but it's also like Sakura is once again not doing any like physical stuff. But whatever. It's fine.
Yep, she's great. I'm interested to find out more about this Uchiha clan. Like, I am invested in like what happened. Like, the implication would be that Sasuke's brother betrayed them or something. Yeah, like maybe he got influenced by some outside force or something and tore down the clan from the inside. If this was a simple story, which it certainly is, that's what will happen. But
it is beyond crazy, EliteAri, that you don't know this.
Oh, I don't
I've said this a million times in a million streams and in every. Never mind, I won't say that second part.
Okay, good. Because, like, maybe it's a thing where when it'll happen, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember this. But right now, I got no idea.
I think it might be, but, like, it doesn't matter because you are, like, the investment now is interesting.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
They didn't give him a name, right?
The brother? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What if that will happen soon. I don't even know what it would be. Yeah, I could not possibly guess. It's going to be some name that sounds like the word Sasuke or Sharingan or Rasengan. They all sound the same to me. I don't know. It'll be some name like that, I'm sure.
There's a 95% chance that you definitely recognize the name, but
I'm excited.
We'll move on saying that. And I'm afraid once you hear the name, you'll know it. But
don't say anything else. I don't want to know. I want to get excited. When I
know.
Okay?
I'm making great judgment calls so far, EliteAri.
Wonderful.
So besides the time skip thing, you know, but come on, EliteAri, that already.
Yep.
Truing, the Uchiha clan. It's a mystery.
Yep. So we've got the nine-tailed fox thing that happens in this set of episodes. This happens so much earlier than I ever would have expected in this story. Like, obviously, at some point, Naruto's going to use his big fox abilities. He's going to turn Super Saiyan, like I said before. He's going to turn golden or whatever. I think that's a thing I know. But it happens here. Like, it doesn't really happen. Like, he half uses it or whatever. The seal's not fully broken. But it's like, oh, we're using the power here. It's like kind of, I was not expecting it to be this early. So yeah.
There is a great moment where Kakashi does freak out and realize what's happening.
Yeah.
And in terms of like a lore thing, like there's a lot of little retcons here. That is not a retcon at all, and it is really cool, especially when you know the full context. So Naruto gets props for that. But also he does have the thing of like the seal is not broken, guys. All right, we're cool. It's been loosened a little bit, so Naruto can have this gigantic power up.
Yep.
And he does just beat the shit out of Haku immediately.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Which is I did remember them fighting a little bit more once he had some of the fox's chakra, but they didn't, so whatever.
I thought the way they showed it was really cool, like with the black and white shots
the face
of
like appeared for a second.
Is that what you're talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the black and white shots of like Naruto's face like being really crazy and stuff. I thought that was super cool. What are you talking about?
That was cool, yeah. But like at one point the fox like manifests like
in Naruto's face. Oh wait, what?
Yeah. Well, no, there's like a shot of like this, like Naruto's like on the ground or something, and the fox is starting to come out, and it like its face like appears.
Oh, okay. Like, yes.
The effect on that was really cool and stuff.
True.
But yes, this is a first step on a long journey here.
Yep.
It is really cool.
Okay. You know what else is super cool? And my third last note. When Kakashi does the shadow clone jutsu at the end, and he has like a million of them.
True.
And I'm like, whoa, oh my god.
And right after he said he had like no chakra. Too,
yeah,
like,
I know.
He can do a million of them.
It's great.
This is actually another famous like power scaling thing where shadow clones are supposed to be really hard to make. This is actually something that's like there's like 17 different clones. This is actually something we should get into because it is confusing. Like there's water clones, there's the transformation jutsu, there's the substitution jutsu, and then there's the shadow clone jutsu. Now the shadow clone jutsu was on a special scroll from the second Hokage EliteAri, one of his secret jutsus, because they are like forbidden because they're so strong. Basically how it's understood is Naruto, the only reason Naruto can do so many clones is because he has such like so much chakra. So Kakashi probably in this moment shouldn't be able to make that many clones. There is also, again, if you're going to defend the Naruto and take it in the most good faith possible, Kakashi doesn't move. So it's possible it was just like he could manifest them, but they literally couldn't move because all the bad guys just run away after they see him. Which would be a smart thing Kakashi could think up. So I choose to believe that one. But I think there is a point later where Kakashi's like, I can only really create like 3 shadow clones at a time with my chakra level. And it's a little contradicted by here. But besides that, the clones are different because the water clones are made of water, so they're not very
Mhm.
strong. The shadow clones are literal physical clones.
That's right.
Whereas like the transformation or like the substitution are like there's clones that are basically fake. They're just like illusions, and if you tried to punch them, your hand would just go through them, right?
Mhm.
But with Naruto, you would punch a guy, and if you punched him hard enough, he would disappear.
Yep.
So there's going to be lots more clonings, and Naruto's clones are going to be particularly different. So this is a big thing to keep in mind. There's also the substitution jutsu where you substitute out like a piece of wood, and you're like, you didn't get me, dumbass.
Yep.
Which is really cool, and there is really cool uses of this later on.
Hmm.
But they definitely overuse that one at the beginning a lot.
Yep.
But it's cool. So there's lots of different little powers. But clones, because this is something like reactors always get confused with and the comments always get mad at them for, where it's like shadow clones and normal clones are different things. Because shadow clones have shadows, maybe? I don't fucking know why they're called shadow clones, frankly.
No, this is something I picked up. I understood this. Like they make it. I think they make it very clear in episode 1 at the end, where he's like, "These aren't just clones; they're like real or something." I'm like, "Whoa!"
That is true. Mizuki does say that as they pummel him to death.
And it is funny how Naruto makes like 150 of them that time, and never again. He only ever has like 5 the next time he does it.
There's a bunch when he fights Kakashi, but it's probably like 20.
Yeah, well, it's like I wouldn't be
But
surprised
also
if
he
there was
was
300
mad.
in that first one.
That is true. But he
Yep.
was mad, so he had like more chakra, maybe.
Yeah, that is the point they make. There is like a flashback they do, and they're like, when you care about someone, and then they have like all the clones there. I'm like, wow.
They
I guess
do
that. Yep.
Which I don't think Naruto does a lot of, where it's like you're stronger just because you're fighting for somebody. But that is something Haku says a lot, where he's like, something precious to you or whatever. I feel like they kind of dropped that. I'm not sure. I don't think Naruto ever has a moment where he powers up because he's defending somebody or something.
It'll happen. I know he will.
It might, because there are a lot of fucking fights in Naruto.
When Kakashi dies in front of him, he'll be like, "I should have been stronger," and he'll like do it there.
Well, there's certainly the thing that happens here where he gets mad, and like Sasuke is dead, so we are mad right now, and the fox might slip out. That certainly happens. But he's sort of losing control a bit and stuff. So
yep,
that's got its own set of downsides.
Yep.
True. We were talking about clones. I think that's the clone point.
Yep. That's okay. I only have one more note left, basically, which is I appreciate this arc that we went through with our characters, because now I'm invested in them. They have history together, they've struggled together, they've gone through trials together. So whenever they go in the future now, I'm gonna be like, man, they're a team. They fought. Sasuke died, but then he came back to life somehow. And Sakura protected that guy on the bridge, and like, there's all this stuff that they've done now that I'm really happy. And
they all bonded a little bit,
Exactly.
And they do have the cute thing where they're walking away, and it's like Sasuke's like not as mean to Sakura. He's just like, nah, I don't really want to hang out. She's like, oh. And then Naruto's like, I'll hang out with you, Sakura. And she throws him off the bridge or whatever.
Oh,
they're lovingly doing it now.
There was a cute scene early on where it was like Sasuke says that Sakura's annoying, and then she like reflects on it introspectively for like a while, and she's like, oh, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so sad.
Because she shit talks Naruto and says, this little brat doesn't have any parents. That's why he's a little fucking shit.
Yep.
And he's like, and Sasuke stands up for Naruto in that moment. He's like, you have no idea what it feels like to be alone. So, Naruto and Sasuke have some things in common, even if they don't like to admit it.
Yep.
That is a very cute moment that Sasuke stands up for Naruto then. Naruto then
it's
tries
a cute
to kidnap
for Sakura. What are you talking about? Who cares about Sasuke?
True. We love Sakura. She has some self-reflection. And then she tries to be nice to Naruto, but then Naruto says something stupid or something, or it's actually something happens and they don't make any progress.
That's right. But, Amen.
I
think he's like looking for Sasuke and like not caring about her or something. He's like, where's Sasuke?
Because Sasuke just beat the fuck out of him and stole his girl. That wasn't cool, Sasuke. We love episode 3. It's the best one.
Definitely not. Now, my final thing is about how, they said it, and I'm sure it'll happen, where, oh my god, we'll come back to this town one day. I'm excited. I hope it's like 250 episodes from now, like a long time away, and we come back and this kid's like grown up a little bit, and it'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be like, wow, I remember that place. That was Zabuza and Haku's like fight. We had the bridge.
Land of Waves, EliteAri, your favorite place.
True. Now, well, no, yeah, I guess, especially when there's no mist there. But whenever there's mist, I'm not really a big fan of it. But yeah.
And of course, EliteAri, the great Naruto bridge. My goodness.
Oh my god! You know what? You gotta watch that reaction. I should definitely upload this because It's a good name. It's an interesting. What is it? I don't know. It's a name. Okay.
It certainly is a name. And
Yep.
Naruto and Inari funny cry at each other as they're leaving. I thought that was cute.
True.
Um,
No, that to be honest, that's an example of the bad comedy. Okay.
no, that was good. We like
yeah.
that.
All right.
True. So that was all your notes, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's some other things we could go over. Like we didn't really talk about the bell test too much.
Yeah. I don't have much to
It's
say
kind
on
of
it.
the first moment. Yeah, it's kind of the first moment of them showing off the power system a little bit. So I do think that's cool. I do think that's like always the moment you're like waiting for the reactors to get to like prove that Naruto is kind of cool.
Mhm.
And there's a bunch of cool stuff like the bell test as it's designed. Sasuke like touches a bell.
Yeah, that was cool. There's like the first cliffhanger
Naruto.
is there where like where Sakura, no, Jesus, Sasuke hits Kakashi with the blades or whatever.
True, and Kakashi fucking
I'm like, what
died,
is he
bro.
dead?
That was
Oh my
great.
god, yeah, crazy.
But it's also cute where it's like it like immediately shows their characterization where Naruto just like stands there and tries to fight and like obviously loses, and Sakura like hides and doesn't really do much at all, and Sasuke like eventually gets goaded into coming out to try and like prove that he's strong.
Yep.
It's cool. The bell test is definitely like a very nostalgic thing that people reflect on fondly. Also, it'll be referenced a lot moving forward, we'll say.
Wonderful.
A lot of Kakashi's friends have died. That's also something we should keep in mind. We did mention that briefly. There's probably some other general world things we want to go over. We went over the Kage thing though. I guess there's another thing to point out is that certain jutsu have elemental abilities. There is something you could possibly read into that this early that you definitely haven't because nobody does. But think about the jutsus every once in a while. They always have like 3 names where it's like secret art, hidden jutsu, and these actually are distinctions that have like categories and stuff. So
okay.
But that's all fleshed out like as we progress. It is funny that they don't overload you with that at the beginning, but they do a bunch of other things where it's like the Tsuchikage and stuff like that. Oh, there's a famous Kakashi line at the end of the bell where he says like scum and worse than scum. What the fuck is the actual line? I probably wrote it out somewhere.
No idea.
Those who betray their friend, no. Those who abandon the mission are scum, but those who betray their friends are worse than scum. This is something that gets repeated a lot. This is like a big Naruto thing. You might get that tattooed on you by the end of Naruto, EliteAri.
Maybe.
In the ninja world, those who break the rules are scum, but those who abandon their friends are worse than scum. My goodness.
That's so sad.
Can you believe it?
Yep.
Also, Kakashi's always late, EliteAri. Hilarious.
Late to what? What does that mean?
He's always late. He showed up to get them late. He showed up to their
he
bell
was
test
late. That's right. Yeah, true. I remember that.
Naruto gets a great prank on him where he puts the duster in the door or something. That's some Japanese classroom humor for you.
Yep.
We don't have sliding doors over here. There's a bunch of like I have all the names of things. Like Kakashi has like a bunch of names where it's like the copy ninja, Kakashi of the Sharingan or something.
Yep.
And there's mentioning of oh, I guess this is something to flesh out. There's mentioning of the Anbu Black Ops, which is that's like a thing in real life.
Okay.
Like it's like the super elite undercover ninja guys that like they will hunt down rogue ninjas that go away because rogue ninjas have secrets, EliteAri. Obviously, they have military intelligence if they were in the village.
Yep.
They also, if you get a ninja's body, this is like a big thing. You can like extract some things.
That's right.
Like theoretically, you could steal Kakashi's Sharingan or something if you like kill.
No, you can't because it's genetic. They said you can't steal genetic stuff, right?
That's not true.
They definitely said that.
Genetic stuff.
Wait, what?
No, you can't copy genetic stuff. Kakashi does not genetically have the Sharingan. He is not an Uchiha. This is pointed out. Well,
what?
Sasuke reacts. Yes.
I don't remember this. I thought it was like a genetic thing.
So, well, not for Kakashi, right? Because Kakashi is not an Uchiha.
What?
Sasuke
wait, do we know this? I don't remember this. Wait.
Kakashi's last name is Hatake.
Yeah, but that could be like a misdirection. I assumed it was like because Sasuke does have that moment where he's like Uchiha, could he be? And I'm like, oh, I guess he's part of his family.
Well, also Sasuke is the only surviving member of the Uchiha clan.
Well, that's what we think, right? Like I assumed it would be like
a secret one that we all know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I assumed it was part of. I didn't even question that he was like part of the Uchiha thing.
No, I think you're definitely supposed to question that.
Oh wow. Okay. Damn.
I don't think this. I'm not getting in trouble for this spoiler. But you did bring up a good point, which is that Kekkei Genkai are blood traits that are in the blood, and and Sasuke does unlock the Sharingan at the end, and it is what do you call it? A Kekkei Genkai. But the only thing, you can't copy genetic traits with the Sharingan. So it's like Kakashi can't do the ice thing because I guess that's explained more later. But he can't make ice.
That's real.
Because you need
I can make
two
ice.
things to do that. True, you can. But you can't make, because it is Haku's ability is not to create ice mirrors. It is just to create ice. This is not really fleshed out too much until way later, and it's only like retroactively applied to Haku. Like it's not like Haku comes back up. But Kekkei Genkai traits are like that. So the Sharingan is a Kekkei Genkai trait that only Uchiha can like develop.
Okay, interesting.
There's like a thing you could read into, like, did Kakashi steal this from an Uchiha member, etc., etc. And because Sasuke is very suspicious, he's like, why would you do that? But obviously, we don't know about the Sharingan until Kakashi is the first person you see, so it's not like it doesn't make much sense why. But frankly, I mean, Sasuke should probably know about this already, but he doesn't. But whatever. You should probably know that Kakashi has it if Zabuza knows about it. Oh, but they bring up the idea of the bingo book, where like all the best ninja of a village are in your book, where it's like if you see this guy, you have to kill him immediately. He's like a massive military threat. Because if Kakashi broke into that hidden miss village, he could probably kill a lot of people. And they're not against that. Also, a big thing at the beginning is they do things for money. Now we've only seen like them do nice things like protect somebody or retrieve a cat. But you can get hired to assassinate people. And and I don't know, ethics probably doesn't come into it too much. There probably is like a convener. You probably gather intel when you get an assassination request. And you figure out if this is going to like backfire on you a lot. But that is kind of not so good, EliteAri. I don't know why should be doing that. But also the profit incentive is a little alarming too.
We'll see how much.
But they need it to fund the village and stuff. True. We're gonna take down war and capitalism in Naruto, EliteAri, and you're gonna have to get over it.
Lovely.
Am I forgetting any? There's definitely some other world things that I'm probably forgetting to clarify to you, EliteAri, since you're so silly you just won't keep up with it.
Yep.
I'm scrolling through looking for any things. The Kekkei Genkai, I feel like we went over it. It's a blood trait, you know. There's going to be more. It's going to be interesting. Sasuke has one. Kakashi somehow has one. What are we doing there? Talk no jutsu kind of happens. Naruto kind of talks Zabuza into admitting his feelings. So, that was
the best
epic.
moment.
Ninja art. True. Ninja art summoning Earth-style fanged pursuit jutsu was the summoning. I have that in bold. That's pretty cool. It is Earth style. They do travel through the ground, and they got into the bridge somehow, EliteAri. Now that's crazy. But I think
that bridge.
Might be all...
That bridge was a lot shorter than I was expecting. I thought it was like really big. But in the final shot, it's
there's
like,
one shot when they're leaving. There's one shot, and because it's like how it's like the perspective of it does make it look really long. But you are truing outside of that. You are truing right now, EliteAri. Oh, and I guess I have a little note here. When Naruto says he's looking forward to having ramen with Haruka Sensei when they get back, and he's going to tell Konohamaru all about his adventures.
True.
And then with the rest of it, we kind of already talked about. So we're calling back to our limited cast we have at the moment. Don't get used to a limited cast, EliteAri. This shit is going to expand exponentially.
How exciting. Now, will anyone get a better position in my character tier list than Sakura? We'll see. Probably. It's not a very high bar to pass.
I feel like almost certainly.
She is not very good. She's just better than the other bad characters, okay?
It is interesting because I think a lot of the things you're saying a lot will probably be things you don't say after the next part.
Okay, wonderful.
But there's a possibility that you won't care about certain things. It's curious.
We'll see.
I'm curious, rather.
Yeah.
I think that might be everything, and we might just do predictions now, EliteAri.
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm uneasy about some of it. I guess we didn't talk too much about fighting.
The fighting is very like the only like there's no like good animation or anything for the fighting, but the like back and forth move based fighting of like, well, I'm gonna do this thing and then I'll do this trick thing. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like I like that.
Yeah, I definitely think I like the first Zabuza and Kakashi fight more than the bridge stuff. That was probably just because of the pacing.
Well,
it's like hard to figure out.
has the really cool, like, they're doing the cloning, both saying the hand sign thing at the same time. That was really cool. I like that a lot. So that's probably my
I like
highlight.
I like Zabu's initial like appearance where he like does just appear in their formation
Yeah,
and stuff
true,
like
true.
that. I like the shuriken thing that Naruto and Sasuke do. They like immediately understood each other, which is cute, and
Yeah.
they're in love and stuff. And then yeah, the climax and stuff, the water vortex jutsu or whatever, and like summoning the river and stuff like that's cool. The water prison stuff is cool.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't really think Haku's power is too fun in the fight. Like
I
she's
probably
throwing a lot
agree.
of needles. I said she, oh
He.
my goodness.
Yeah, my goodness.
Um, and like zooming through the mirrors, and I still don't know if I entirely understand. Like I think he was just moving fast. He's not actually teleporting, and like the
Well, he's moving
reflection
the
was
speed of
helping
light.
him.
They said that. It has to be. That's what it is.
They
Unless
do
the
do
dub is
no.
off.
I think they say they can't track it with their eyes.
Well, at some point
But
they
Sasuke
say he's
can.
traveling at light speed or something. Like, whoa.
Yeah, they
Okay.
might say that. True.
Yeah. Because that I had a whole like internal like reflection. I was like, "Whoa, does that mean there's like they're in our universe where the speed of light is constant and like they're aware of it and like that's crazy. They have like scientific like advancements that they know this." And
I
I'm like,
think it
"Whoa."
just means really fast,
Yeah, I
Elite.
guess.
It
Yeah.
is. This is funny because it is a power scaling thing in Dragon Ball. I know too because I think Raditz says that at the beginning, right? They're traveling at the speed of light,
I
and
don't
that's like
remember
the
that.
first time they
Maybe.
say that in Naruto, and that's
Wow.
like a big thing because like then they should be way far, like they should be able to fly around Namek immediately or some shit, and people will get mad about that or something. This is another thing where it's like the speed of light is like retardedly fast, right, EliteAri? You know physics. That's like the fastest thing
300,000
ever.
kilometers per second. Yeah.
Yeah. But they do still run through the woods, and it takes them a little while. So
Yep.
probably not. But anyway.
Yep.
I guess the last thing maybe to say is that next time we're going to be doing episodes 20 through 38 is what I have written down here, which again is one more than people are kind of expecting because there's like a part that ends. Now, first of all, the next arc, which I won't say the name of,
Good. Yeah.
is like 80 episodes or something.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not doing a full arc next time. We are doing a full part of an arc and literally the next episode because basically I think it'll make for better speculation.
Okay.
Is my like purpose for this. Because they do introduce what the next thing is going to be, and I think it will be really interesting to speculate about that at the end of the next part. And then afterwards, it's kind of what you would expect. I think this is the only one where I'm trying to get cute. There is a bunch like way later on where it's like there's going to be people that are going to advocate for us to watch episodes like 140 to 142 of Naruto Shippuden before we watch episode 1 of Naruto Shippuden. Because that is the order the manga goes in.
I don't care about the
don't think
manga.
we will be doing that. That is what every reaction channel does. They do this. I think it is terrible because it introduces you to the new art style like 140 episodes in. And it also like you're going to see you wouldn't be able to watch it, but you would see an intro with a bunch of characters you don't recognize. The music and stuff would all be different, and it's just I think it's a terrible way to do it, so we're not going to do that. And EliteAri just said frick manga. He doesn't frick with
I
manga.
don't care about
so
manga.
there's no motivation from EliteAri to do that. And also, it's originally how I watched it, so you know I want to recreate that with EliteAri because obviously that's the most awesomest awesome. And also like. It's like a flashback, right? And it's a good way because there is even in the manga, even though the manga is like Dragon Ball, where there's no Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, there's no Naruto and Naruto Shippuden in the manga. It's all one big 72 volume story. It is like it does say end of part 1, like Chainsaw Man at the end of the Naruto portion.
Yeah.
Then you have this little flashback as like an interim thing, and then you start part 2.
Okay.
The flashback, like the anime gets it in right before it becomes, well, not right before it becomes relevant, but like it's fine the way we're going to do it anyway. The way the anime chose to do it too.
I'm a kid in 2003, and I'm watching Naruto for the first time. I'm watching the release order. Okay.
True, but you're also watching the filler, which we're probably not going to do.
Hell yeah! Oh my god, I can't wait for the filler. Oh my god.
True. EliteAri can watch 80 episodes, and I'll do something else. All right, EliteAri, we got predictions. I do have some things for you to predict if you don't have any predictions right off the bat.
Well, I mean, it depends what
you've already done your Kakashi's gonna die one.
Yeah, Kakashi's gonna die someday. It's gonna be really affecting, and it's gonna be great. Why? Well, let me think. Like all the big things are gonna happen. Like Naruto, if he's saying he wants to be the strongest, he's gonna be the strongest. If Sasuke says he wants to get vengeance or like avenge his village, or he's gonna avenge his village. If Sakura says she wants to like marry Sasuke, she's gonna like marry Sasuke or whatever. If Kakashi
Because
said, well,
Naruto is such a simple story, right?
yeah, exactly. What else? Kakashi doesn't really have a thing that he's
If
interested in.
freaking Hinata says she's gonna marry Naruto, she's gonna marry
Sure,
Naruto.
amen.
So.
That's right. And if Naruto says he's gonna marry Sakura, he's not gonna marry Sakura. So I got no idea.
Well, Leader, you were letting us know your great predictions before my great laptop went flat and we all cried.
Yeah, so I have two things that in that break I wrote down. One is that my guess would be for the next immediate thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna return to the village, like the what is it, Hidden Tree Village or something like that.
Village hidden in the leaves, not the trees,
yeah.
you fucking idiot.
Village hidden in the leaves, yes.
Or the Leaf Village, or Konoha, if you were watching the sub, which is why Konohamaru's name is Konohamaru,
That makes
because he's
sense.
named after the village. He has a line about that.
Yes, we're gonna return there, and we're gonna. I don't even know. I just think we're gonna return there. That's my only prediction. I have no idea what else we could do. Basically, this story, I have no prediction as to what the next step is gonna be.
It is true. This is actually something very interesting about Naruto, and it differentiates it from One Piece quite a bit, is that there is no immediate plot. We just did a mission, and now we go back, and we literally could go anywhere.
Yep. Maybe they'll go back
Dragon
to school,
Ball is kind of like that
and there'll
too.
be some school stuff or something. I don't know. I hope so, but probably not. I got no idea.
Well, they've graduated from school, so I don't know about that.
Wait, did they? How did they get assigned the three-man squads or whatever? What was that?
Well, they weren't at school. They went to the Hokage's office and got their orders.
Oh, maybe they'll have some Hokage lessons in the Hokage office place. I don't know. We'll see.
Because even Dragon Ball, like, there's the narrative thread of like Master Roshi said Goku should go and train with him after the peel off stuff. So then that's where Goku goes. There really isn't that here. It's really completely open.
Yep.
Like the characters have personal goals, but they could go in any direction in order to get there.
Yep. So my second prediction was just I was thinking like what would the future arcs be in this kind of story, and I predicted one of these arcs will be where we're gonna pit characters against each other, where they're going to be hunting down each other or something like that, where it'll be like, I don't know if it'll be, I don't think it'll be, arc? I guess kind of, well, not really a tournament arc, more like I'm going to be tasked with like attack or like getting info or like killing this person or something. And then the other person's going to be tasked with killing that person. And it's going to be like maybe it'll be like a test, or maybe it'll be like an actual like killing thing, and it'll be like characters that like we don't know each other, but we know them as like the audience, and it'll be like we're pitting these two people that we both like.
Do you think these are like from the same village or from different villages?
No, probably. I'm guessing like from different villages. But it'll be both characters we know them. It's not going to be like someone like Zabuza who we don't know against like Kakashi or something. It'll be like someone we know from another village and we've gotten to know, and then like one of our like main characters or something. I feel like this is the type of story that would do something like that. But yeah,
maybe ahead. In the very next episode, we're going to cut to the Lightning Village, and we're going to meet some characters for a few episodes, and then we'll have to hunt them down. You never know.
Maybe, but that would be very surprising. But that's all I got. I got no direct predictions. So anything?
Okay, yes. Well, besides Kakashi dying in front of Naruto.
Well, yeah, that's gonna happen. It has to. If it doesn't, I'd be shocked.
And Sakura and Sasuke getting together, and Naruto being stronger.
Yeah. True.
And Naruto and Hinata you don't get points for that one.
Yes, I know.
Now, I have written down sort of the overarching implied mysteries. So Naruto is an orphan. There's probably going to be some context there, so that could be something we could think about. Do you think Naruto's secret parents are hidden in plain sight, EliteAri? Do you think Kakashi is his father?
Nope, I think his parents are dead.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yep.
Now, Kakashi seemingly has a very tragic backstory, EliteAri. You want to interpret what that means?
He got assigned to a mission, and all the people on the mission died except him, and he had to live with it.
Life or death situations, these ninja missions.
Yep.
Sasuke and this certain somebody who we know to be his brother. I guess we've already commented on that. Is Sasuke going to fight his brother, EliteAri?
Well, I assume that's a good question, because the story is like, my prediction was that it's going to be the brother betrayed the clan the clan by being influenced from the outside to like destroy it from the inside or something like that. That'll be the storyline. But then how would like Sasuke resolve that? Would he kill his brother? Would he like would he befriend his brother? Hmm.
I'm just smiling so much right now.
If I were to guess, I think it would probably be a thing where the brother will learn the error of his ways, and the brother will like sacrifice himself for Sasuke or something like that. That seems like what this kind of story would do, like a very simple story. That's my guess. Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. EliteAri, Konohamaru and Naruto have a very stated rivalry.
Yes.
It's gonna go on there. Will Konohamaru surpass Naruto?
That would be an absolutely wild thing. Naruto is going to... Well, I think it'll be a thing where maybe in the final arc or something, like in the right at the end, like the epilogue or something, they will like have a fight.
Years of like the next generation. Or
yeah,
whatever.
they'll have like a stage match or something. Like they'll fight each other or something, and Naruto will win, but it'll be like close or something like that. And it'll be like, whoa, look at this.
And one day Konohamaru will beat his ass.
I doubt it. I don't think so. I don't think it'll ever happen. But it would be funny because I'm assuming like Naruto will become the next Hokage. Or maybe not the next one. Maybe no. I was gonna say maybe the kid becomes the next one, but no. I'm pretty sure Naruto will become the Hokage eventually. I don't know if it'll be the next Hokage, but he'll be eventually.
You did say earlier he would be the fifth one, so you're
I guess the fifth one, yeah. But then with the kid's not young enough. It's only like a 5-year age gap or something like that. So I don't think he'd be like young enough to be the one after him. So maybe he'll work under Naruto and be like his second in command or something. I don't know. I don't have
unless Naruto dies at the end. My goodness, and then Konohamaru has to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
And my last one here is the love triangle, which I guess you already know where Naruto ends up, but will the other two end up together? I guess you kind of already gave a prediction about that.
So, yeah, so I am thinking, like, it is the obvious thing that, like, Sakura, but it could be a thing where it's, like, Sakura realizes that, you know, there's more people out there and she meets someone else, and that could be a
There's
thing.
other freaking fish in the sea,
Let me think. Would, because Sakura, Sasuke, is Sasuke capable of loving someone?
Not when his heart is torn in two with vengeance.
I don't know. Would Sasuke die at the end? Is that like a thing that could happen? Does Vegeta die at the end? No, not really. Who does Vegeta get with? He gets with Bulma, who's Goku's friend.
Great Bulma.
I don't know. I think it probably will be. They probably will get together. That's probably the most likely thing. But I don't know what would make Sasuke fall in love with Sakura. So I don't know at this point. It could go either way, maybe. I don't have a strong opinion on it.
But her forehead is beautiful and easy to kiss. That's why.
Is that a thing they say? Who says that?
Yes, remember she imagines Sasuke saying that to her, and then Sasuke, who's actually Naruto, comes up to her and says the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Hilarious comedy, EliteAri. You will appreciate it.
I'm sure it's very funny.
But anyway, you just don't get my great Naruto references.
Yeah.
I could make a bunch you wouldn't get EliteAri, but that wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah.
I think that's it, EliteAri. I'm very excited. Some people do consider this next arc the best arc in all of Naruto.
It's kind of crazy. Okay.
And as I said, it's a very long one with multiple little stages. And the arc afterwards is kind of a direct run-on from this arc. So it's kind of like the next 100 episodes or so. That's not entirely true. Like the next 60.
Wonderful.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I guess EliteAri, and maybe this is a better conversation for us to have off stream, but I'm bringing it up now anyway. Are we aiming to do one of these a month, basically?
If it stays, what was it, 20 episodes or something, roughly? It should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think at one point it's not going to get more than like 30, I don't think. But that's only like once or twice, I think. But true. So maybe at the beginning of February we were back here, and if we do that, we should be able to finish Naruto in a year and a half because it's 18 parts, 18 months. My goodness.
Perfect.
How exciting. But I don't want to say the next arc's name. But we'll see you back for that one that everybody's going to be very excited for. And in fact, EliteAri, I was anticipating perhaps some EliteAri hate in the comments for you shitting on Naruto before we started recording, but I think you've saved yourself in most regards.
Wonderful.
Except maybe if we get some crazy anti-Sakura people.
Or if they love the comedy in this, and I said that no one could possibly love the comedy in this, and I'll be like, he's insulting me. It could be a thing.
Well, we all love the great comedy, of course, but EliteAri, you
Yep.
don't like comedy in anything. So what do you know?
Amen.
But true, I might start watching these fucking episodes right now. You know, I'm just so excited.
Yes, you should watch my reactions that I will probably upload after this.
True.
For 2 episodes, and that's it. Maybe I'll do more. I don't know. But there are episodes 18 and 19.
No, it would kind of be a spoiler to be
No,
like,
don't
you should
tell me.
probably react
No,
to this
no.
coming episode, EliteAri.
I don't want to know.
Because the next part is probably not the last episode would not be the one to react to.
Yeah,
But,
no, I don't think I will. We'll see, maybe. If I get a bunch of comments in that reaction saying you should do more, maybe I'll do some more. We'll see.
They're gonna tell you which fucking episodes to do. I can
They probably would,
it.
yeah.
But yes, look forward to that on the EliteAri channel. Obviously, we're here on the secondary ENT channel. And this is going to be a journey, everybody. We're just so excited for it.
Yep.
Nothing else to say, EliteAri?
Believe it or something. I don't know. Yep.
He says it just like that, EliteAri. Maybe I should sing, or should I just hit him with the line? You know.
Go ahead.
Support links in the description below. Thanks.